Hey everyone, what's going on? I hope you guys are all doing well. And yeah, welcome to Thursday Night Z Talks, episode 67, where I'm going to be joined by a lot of guests. And I thought I would try my laptop because I know with my laptop I've got like my webcam and also I've got a microphone. So if you're watching live right now, let me know if you can hear me okay and if the audio sounds okay as well. I tested before I went live and I think it was all right. But hey, technology nowadays, you just never really know. So yeah, I'm going to be joined by a slew of guests. Firstly, it's great to be back, and sorry if it like looks like I'm looking all over the place. The webcam's like all the way up here, so I'm not going to stare at the webcam the entire time. But right in front of me, I can see my screen, so I'll be able to see you guys as you leave any comments or questions, and of course my guests as well. So I wanted to kind of go live a little bit by myself, and Jackson saying can hear me loud and clear. Yeah, thank you, Jackson. That's awesome, man. Thank you for letting me know. Jackson will be joining us very, very shortly. And we've got Cinematic and Tendency in the house saying watching from work and hashtag employee of the year, along with hashtag father of the year as well with many, many others. So thanks for watching Cinematic. I really, really do appreciate it. But yeah, I wanted to go live just before my guests join me in about 10, 15 minutes roughly time because if you guys have been following the channel, or maybe you're brand new here, this episode was meant to be a charity live stream event where episode 67 was going to be raising money for charity. Now, at the time, I had it booked in, I had it about a few weeks booked in ahead of time, but unfortunately, due to my job, I work 4 11-hour shifts in a row off the bounce, and that can be very draining on my throat and my voice, and it takes me maybe a day or two being off work to actually kind of recover. I'll be quite frank with you guys, which a lot of you may not actually know because I don't think I really ever talk about that really on the channel. So, with that in mind, when I was coming up to the charity stream, and plus I wasn't feeling the best mentally, I was drained and exhausted. Past few months, I'll be honest with you guys, it's been completely mentally draining and just exhausting for me. And of course, I've been ill at the end of the year going into 2025, so that hasn't helped things as such. So I thought, well, hey, actually, let's just get on to the live streams once again. Let's do a live stream. Let's talk to you guys. Let's have some people in the chat. Let's have some guests on the channel. And here we are. So if you're watching live, feel free to say hello. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask while I'm by myself. And if there's any questions towards my guests, I will filter them through as my guests come onto the channel a little bit later. I know today was the Oscar announcements, which I honestly had no clue that was going to happen when I made this stream and put this together on Saturday, Sunday of just last week, just gone. And yeah, it's been an Oscar announcement day. Are people excited about that? Do people even care about the Oscars at this point? I mean, hey, let me know. Regardless and either situation, yeah, let me know. It's definitely a big, eventful event. The Oscars. It's going to be hitting on March 2nd, I believe, and it's a Conan O'Brien presenting. I don't really like the guy. I'll be quite frank with you, so I'm not really excited about that. But yeah. Let me know. Yeah, let me know, guys. And then also, I'll throw in what I did today. I actually went to the cinema today. I actually saw the Robert Zemeckis movie called Here, which stars Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, which was its final UK showing, at least at the cinema like further away from me in Newcastle. So I went to see that today. Really beautiful movie, really good performances by Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, and it was great to see them reunite after all these years. However, the story is told in a non-linear format, which can work well for some movies, and in certain movies, it does really benefit from having that editing style to it. But this wasn't one of them. The editing style, basically, it's about this one house, this one location, and life in this one location. Like previous homeowners, previous people who's lived in this house and certain time periods, and going through all those time periods to the current state right now. But again, it's told in a non-linear way. And when you get like some really big moments or really emotional moments with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, really the main family we focus on, they cut away to like a different time period. So it's kind of rapid cuts, and it kind of those emotional moments that was there and should have really pulled you in kind of goes the other way. So it was a little bit of a shame for you personally. But um I still really, really liked it. I did shed a tear. I will be honest. So Tom Hanks and Robert Zemeckis, they've done some magic once again. We've got Tyler Babb in the house. Hey, Tyler, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well. A really great guy that is currently exploding on YouTube right now. This guy has grown astronomically and really great guy. So definitely check out Tyler Babb. I mean, hey, check out Horsetooth Cinema Jackson and Cinematic. We will hear from Jackson very shortly when he's on. But yeah, Tyler, it's great to hear that you're at work, man, and listening in the background. I really, really do appreciate that. And even if you guys are watching from work, just chilling at home right now, you're just having some popcorn, maybe having like an alcoholic beverage, or hey, maybe even a glass of water that I've got right here. Wherever you are right now watching this, I really, really do appreciate it as well. So thanks for tuning in, Tyler. Cinematic, absolutely, my friend. We've got Cy Robson. Hey, Cy, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. I have been fortunate to meet Cy as well. He's a really, really cool dude. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I can't really plug it. But someone who does have a YouTube channel is, I'm gonna have to get used to this point as well today. Nick's Short Takes, really, really cool guy. If you want to have some like out the theater experiences and out the theater thoughts, and a guy who checks out a lot of stuff and a lot of cinema trips. I think last year was 118, if I got that right. Really, really cool guy. Says evening, Mike. So hey, Nick, hope you're doing well, man. And we've got Sophia as well, legend. Hey, Sophia, what's going on at work too? Well, hey, I appreciate you stopping by, listening in. Maybe got some headphones in, or maybe some earphones. Maybe I'm on your phone playing right now. Heck, I don't really know, but I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, Sophia. Really great, great person. And yeah, Nick says, deep question for you to discuss as and when. Okay, okay, I'll save that question for like when my guests come on, because I think that's a really big question, and I know one of my guests who will be coming on, Anthony Perez, has seen it, like an early screener in America, so I think it'll be important to discuss. Yeah, indeed, 118 trips. Yeah, man, that's really, really awesome. I don't know how many I did. I would like to say I maybe got to 127, 28, maybe, for last year. I can't remember the exact amount. I know my record was like 2016. I think I hit 165 cinema trips for the year. I was there every single day. And it got to the point where even now, when I go to my local cinema, the staff say to me, they're like, you're here more than we are. Right? And I guess that's when you know you've made it as a regular cinema goer, when the staff say that. But hey, I don't know. It's always good fun. Um, but yeah, no, I really, really, really love the cinema. It's like a second home to me. It has been for like many, many years. Um, Especially since like 2015 when I got my unlimited cinema card, which if people in America don't know, we have a cinema called Cineworld, which is, I think it's like your guys' Regal cinemas, if I've got that right, where in the UK you pay a set price per month, and you can go as many times as you want. It's literally unlimited. If you want to go to cinema 5 times a day, you could, right? And there's no gap on that whatsoever. There's no stoppages, so that's really, really cool. So yeah, it's a really, really unique one, and it's a one where I love going to the cinema. So if I can and I can support a movie on the big screen, I absolutely will. And yeah, um, I know a lot of people in the chat as well right now do love the cinema as well as me. Like Nick's there quite often. I know Cinematic's there all the time, usually posting out the theatre reactions as well. Tyler Babb, he's been checking out Nosferatu, which he thought is the best vampire movie ever. So that's always an interesting take. I did recently review Nosferatu onto the channel. And yeah, so I do want to kind of just give a quick update while I'm here, because I know I did speak about it first originally there. Kind of got sidetracked a little bit. I will be doing a Z Talks charity live stream again. That will be coming to you guys. I'm not too sure when it's going to be, just because it is going to be a busy, well, let me say, month ahead, right? I'm not going to kind of delve too much into personal details and personal life. As such, people like really know me, like know what's gonna go on. But yeah, it's gonna be a busy month, and I'm gonna have some really, really cool people and great friends coming over from America as well, like such as like Anthony A. Perez, Ryan from Raven Oz Fan 89, D Movie Man. So it's gonna be a really, really great experience. And yeah, so keep an eye out. on the channel because I will be doing a Z Talks charity stream to raise some money for charity, raise some awareness, and I really love doing the Z Talks episode 40 charity stream. So keep an eye out for that. Cinematic says, "What movie are you watching this week in theaters?" Yeah, so tomorrow I think I'm going to do a double plane. A double bill, not double pin. A double bill. I'm going to be doing that of Presence, which I've been hearing, okay things about, and Flight Risk. I'd like to say it's called the Mark Wahlberg new movie, Topher Grace. That one. I'm going to go see a double bill of those two this weekend, and then I'm back at work on Saturday for 4 days, so I'm not going to have a chance to really do that. And then we've got Josh in the house. Hey, Mike, glad to see Z Talks back. Well, hey, Josh, hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for tuning in. And we've got the legend Anthony Perez. Yeah, buddy, Z Talks. And speaking of Anthony Perez, he's actually just popped up in the chat in the back room right now. So, let's see if we can maybe get him onto the channel. So let's have a look. Here we go. Yo.
What's up, man? How's it going? You hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Z Talks is back, baby.
It's back. It's been a few months, but
I know.
I will just throw this in there. Anthony is one of the big reasons for kind of inspiring me to do another Z Talks. Recently, I've been on his channel. If you haven't seen those streams, links down below in the description box. Go check out those streams. I am back on tomorrow, actually, believe it or not.
Yep. The biggest Lion King hater I've ever met in my life. I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm just kidding. But Mike will be on the channel tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Lion King 1.5. Him, Rashad, and I have been slowly making our way through those. These were all first-time watches for Mike. So if you want to see Mike's first-time reactions to the animated Lion King films, come on over to the channel tomorrow. But thanks for having me on today, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate having you on. We've got Anthony on for about an hour. He's got a few work things and stuff to do, so I appreciate you joining, bro. And
yeah, of course, man.
In the background, we've also got waiting in the wings, Jackson. Hey, Jackson.
Hey, how's it going, Mike? How's it going, Anthony?
Hey, man. How are you?
Oh, doing good. It's really good to be back.
It's good to have you back, man. It's been some time.
Yeah. No, it's been a while. I mean, I've seen you obviously in the comments of like a couple of my streams, but even like I myself haven't been doing too much of those lately. Definitely now that now that I've finally gotten back into like posting reviews and stuff, I might shoot for making it a more regular thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see you back as well, because I know you've been a little bit quieter, but I know you've had like a lot of life stuff going on. So
quite a bit of that in the past year, but now I mean things have settled down quite a bit. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good to hear that you're in a better better space now as well, and you've got that more kind of flexibility to do a bit of YouTube,
No, for sure. Yeah,
I think we can all relate to like life stuff, like
especially you, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been busy for sure, and it's going to be busy as well in the next month, so it's going to be a bit crazy.
No, I imagine.
I think Perez also. I think you might like my shirt as well. Just made the Kessel Run.
I love that. I was gonna say I did peep that earlier. I was watching the stream on my phone while I was setting everything up, and as soon as I saw that, I go, yes, a man of taste. I don't like all your reviews for Star Wars movies, but a man of taste with your shirts.
Well, I've been deep diving a bit of Star Wars last year. I still need to rewatch the newer trilogy and see what I think of those on a second time round, really. But I'm intrigued. Yeah. I'm intrigued. Believe it or not, I've actually seen Rise of Skywalker the most out of the three of them. It's a worst one for me, so it's interesting.
I know.
I don't think I could watch that more than once, to be honest.
Nah. Well, I tell you what, we'll get a few other guests on, and we're going to have a discussion. We'll have a little bit of a discussion about it. So, firstly, we've got Elliot from IMO. Hey, Elliot, what's going on?
Hey guys, how are we? Are we all good?
All good.
Yeah,
doing good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. It's good to be back. It's been a while since we've done a Z Talks. It's feeling good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have you back on, man. And of course, Elliot was one of the guys who helped to kind of restore Z Talks back when, with episode 2. So it's great to have you on again, man. And what's the shirt you're repping, by the way? Because I can't tell the design. I'm kind of intrigued.
I actually found this off of Amazon for like £3, but I kind of liked it. It's just some guitars, and I don't see it there. Choose your weapon.
I like that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just on
Yeah.
Amazon. I wasn't looking for it, and I thought, yeah, for £3 I'll pick it up, and here we are.
Hey, why not, man? Why not? No, nice shirt though, man. I couldn't tell what it was with the design at first, but no, that's pretty cool. And no, thanks for joining Elliot as well. And in the background, we've also got Ryan from Not Your Normal Geek. Hey, Ryan, what's going on?
Hi everybody, it's great to see Z Talks back. I'm getting ready for a nice heavy movie weekend. We've got some good releases finally coming out in the UK, so I'm looking forward to get back into some good movies.
Yeah,
What
definitely.
all is coming out? Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say what all is coming out. Like, because there's a bit of a delayed schedule sometimes with like the UK compared to the US. So like, what are you guys getting right now?
So over the weekend we've got The Brutalist. I know that's already came out. Present and Flight Risk. So I'm hopefully going to check all three out on the weekend if I can.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Because I know you haven't been doing as many cinema trips, Ryan, no, have you? At the moment.
Nah, it's just short on time, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing really being of interest, to be honest. But now, there's some piquing me interest, so I'm going to try and do a bit more.
Yeah,
Brutalist is definitely one to make a whole day out of, just like
that's the only thing. It's 3.5 hours. It's just like, oh, that's a lot of time. But
I don't know if all theaters do this, but mine had an intermission as well. Like they actually,
Right.
like the film has a title card for one, but they actually took like a 15-minute break. I don't know if anybody else who's seen it did that.
Yeah, I saw it too. I think every screening is doing that to give people like time, because I think it's supposed to have like that part 1, part 2 feel to it. Which
It does.
Honestly,
it really does.
I found it was interesting because I got to see it via like an early press screening. So it's only a few of us in there, maybe like 8 people in the room. And so it was dead quiet. We watched the first half, and then we had the 15-minute intermission. And then it was just like 15 minutes of discussions by the bathroom and by like the soda stand. And then we all went back in. And then the movie ended, and everybody just didn't know what to fully make of it. And everybody just kind of like went home. But yeah, it's certainly worth watching, even if you don't like it. Even if it's not your cup of tea, if you're a film fan, you have to see The Brutalist. Like, it's just too well made.
I don't know if it's just the title, but I was a little bit disappointed because I was expecting like action and violence. I don't know if it's just the name. I'm guessing it's not that, so I might be into a bit of a surprise. But,
right.
I can picture like one of those Jason Statham movies, like The Workman or something, like The Brutalist.
Right. I thought it was going to be something like that too. I wasn't familiar with the term, and then when I was doing my review for it, I was like wanted to make sure. And they speak about it in the movie too, but brutalism is like a type of architecture because you follow an architect in the movie. So I had no idea. I also thought I was walking into something maybe a little brutal, but I guess that's just simplistic take.
Well, I never knew that was a term for architecture, to be honest with you. So
It's
I
a
was
specific
I was still
kind
wondering
of
now,
architecture.
Oh, no.
I just thought it was like really torturous and stuff. So that's
right.
Yeah.
Adrian
You learn
Brody,
something new every
the
day.
serial killer architecture.
I mean, it's Adrian Brody, and he's been in quite a bit in his filmography. So I mean, you never know.
You could pull it off.
Right. But no, I mean, firstly, it's just great to have you guys. We have got some comments we'll catch on in a minute, but I do want to just say that the link to Anthony, Jackson, Ryan, and Ellie's channel is down below in the description box. So go show those fellas some love and let them know I sent you. And yeah, we just got a couple of comments. We'll just quickly go through those. Cinematic saying, I want to see Flight Risk, but it won't work out tonight. So Presence it is. Well, enjoy, my friend. I hope you enjoy. I think most of us may end up checking that one out. Who's looking forward to seeing the monkey? Yeah, is it Osgood
Perkins?
Osgood Perkins.
Osgood, that's the one. I knew it was something Oz Perkins. I can't remember the full name. No, I can't remember. I mean, it's
long legs.
Right.
Oh,
no. So I don't know if that's going to bode well for you, Mike.
I mean, you know what it is. I'll say this, right, and I've said it as well. I do want to give Long Legs a rewatch just to give it like a fair shake. First original viewing, I wasn't a huge fan, but I know it's well received. I know I'm in a very small minority camp on that one of not liking that movie. But with him doing the monkey looks really interesting, to be honest. And I went to see Nosferatu a few nights, and I went with my partner Emma. She saw the trailer. She's like, "Yeah, we'll go see that." She really liked the look of it. So, Well, I know like Perez, you guys, right? We all love movies, so I'm guessing we're all going to see The Monkey.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm tempering
Have-
the expectations a bit because I really was looking forward to Longlegs and I really was ultimately disappointed on it. But it does look really good, so I'm looking forward to checking The Monkey out, definitely.
And has anyone ever read the short of Stephen King? Because it's based on that, right?
it is.
Have
Yeah,
not.
I've not read it though.
No, okay. Okay.
He seems like a good director to adapt Stephen King, though. I feel like he's very I don't know, he's maybe unpretentious is the word, just in the sense of like he loves kind of that sleepy, like small town feeling that you get reading Stephen King books, and he's really good at atmosphere. So I feel like that could be good.
Yeah, it looks interesting, and I saw like the Red Band trailer as well. I was like, wow, okay, they're going for some like out there stuff, really. So yeah.
Apparently
Yeah.
it's really gory too. I know they did some like bigger press screenings here in the States, just like some like bigger critics that I follow that like showed that they went to a screening of it, and maybe it was just in jest, but they like shared an image of like a waiver that they had to sign for like the gratuitous violence. The way it read almost felt like it was like poking fun at itself, but from what I've heard, apparently it's pretty gory. So I'm always a fan of a good gory picture.
I was signing a waiver. Okay, yeah, it must have been because I mean, if they're showing Terrifier trailers, you
Right,
know,
right.
about waivers. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see anyway. It's not long either till that's out as well,
Right.
so it'll be interesting. I'm going to quickly go back to a comment that Nick was saying, because I know we kind of spoke about it a little bit, because you're saying about the Brute List not opening his local cinema. I'll have a 3-hour round trip to see it, which is insane. Should cinemas really screen more diverse artsy films? I mean, I would say that the Brute List, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a wider release, especially with all the Oscar nominations it's just gotten, like, as of today. Certain cinemas usually do put them on a few other times just to kind of get that buzz around. But yeah, I mean, should cinemas really screen more diverse artsy films? Ryan, we'll start with you first.
Yeah, I mean, at least where I am, I know Mike and Elliot will be understanding of it as well. The audience that we have here, sometimes they do screen like lesser known films, but the show times are horrendous for us. There's only like 2 showings, and it's like late at night, and it's like I can't get to it. I've got a job, So yeah, they do sometimes show at least audience. But yeah, definitely, I think more cinemas should definitely screen these kind of films. There is an audience, maybe fewer showings, but more than 2, I think.
Right, and I think it's always interesting, depending on the cinema where you're like based out of your local one. If it's a bigger cinema or it's a littler one, what they actually choose to show. I remember the Zone of Interest, which was Elliot's favorite, by the way. So shout out to his kind of top 10 video. My local cinema only got that movie one showing, and it was like 11 in the morning. And I walked out and I was like, "This is really not a morning movie I should have watched." But I still watched it.
I saw that at the. Oh, I just gonna say I saw that at the London Film Festival really late at night. It was the right time to see it, but like, yeah, I'm imagining like seeing that 11 a.m. just like having to go on with your day.
Just waking up, like having your porridge and stuff, and be like, "Oh, go see the Zone of Interest now," So yeah, it's an interesting one. Before we carry on with the rest of the guys, we have got our final guest for the first kind of hour and a half. We've got Pete from Playtendo. Hey, Pete, what's going on?
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Pete, love the background.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, custom stuff from Google Images. I thought I'd have it for background instead of a plain old boring white background.
Well, all good, Pete. I appreciate you joining, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. Thanks for inviting me on. That was a really lovely surprise. Been looking forward to it all week. It's been great to get back on to C Talks and great to see you doing your streams again, mate.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's great to have you on. It's been a long while. And Pete, we'll come to you in just a second because we've got a question here. I'm going to fly over to Jackson. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they should. I mean, I guess I'm kind of a all of the above approach. I love big blockbusters and I love smaller movies. I understand why it's hard for theaters to do that sometimes, but at the same time, a lot of those smaller movies are cheap, so they don't have to make a ton of money to make their budgets back. So I do think that sometimes theaters or distribution companies owe those movies a little bit more confidence. Like, hey, this doesn't need to, completely destroy the box office. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's always interesting to see like how much returns it actually gets from the cinema. Like that screen I said about the zone of interest, there was maybe like 5 people in, and that was it. But there was only showing like for that 1 or 2 days, that one showing in the morning.
Yeah,
so it's just set to fail, really, isn't it? So it's a shame.
And I don't really know I don't know off the top of my head what the budget was for Zone of Interest, but I mean, a lot of the actors are like they're big in Europe, maybe less big in the US, so it's not like huge. And it's mostly like a one location thing, so I can't imagine it was too much. So something like that, give it a little bit more of a chance, I think.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, like, with the question as well, like what the kind of screen times will be here for the Brutalist as well. Because is it out this weekend or next weekend for us?
It's out this Friday, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because my local cinema hasn't got it, so I don't know actually. I thought it was maybe next week. Okay.
When mine released it was like 3 or 4 showings in a day or something like that, but they were all like sold out. Like people were like really excited to get to check it. Like the one I went to at like 8 p.m. was like sold out. So
wow.
Yeah.
I think like word of mouth really helps as well, though. Like look at Terrifier 3, like how well that done off of, obviously that had like massive controversy around it, which would have helped it out in that aspect. But yeah, there can be other things that at play as well with it.
Yeah, for sure, and especially this one being a 3.5-hour movie, and again Oscar nominations and the buzz around it so far. Because I know, as it was saying before, like Perez, we'll jump up to you because I know you've seen the Brutalist already. So yeah, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things where, we're in this weird time with movies, and I feel like I have a slightly different perspective because I'm a little spoiled. I live in a, bless you. I live in a very touristy, there's a lot of people. I live in Central Florida, so there's a lot going on in this area between everything in the, the Tampa area and the Orlando area. Like there's just so much. So in this area, we typically tend to get a lot of those bigger releases. When they do some of those limited releases, it's just normal to me to be like, oh yeah, I'll have it at my local theater. But the reality is it's usually something like the Orlando area, New York, and LA, and there's a huge chunk of America that just doesn't get it, And so what will end up happening is some of these artsy films will come to certain areas, but then it'll be one of those things where they kind of you guys were mentioning earlier, these super early screenings or super late at night that end up pushing certain people away. Yeah, the Brutalist here I don't think did incredible, but I did kind of see I had already seen it, but I wanted to see what the ticket sales were like. So kind of like Jackson said, I did pull it up and I saw that certain screenings, because there was only so few, we're making a lot of money. So like Ryan was saying, I'm sure there'll be that element of word of mouth, kind of we saw with Terrifier this past year. And I think even Longlegs was kind of like that. I was shocked. I don't know how it was like for you guys, but I was shocked that opening weekend of Longlegs that just because of the buzz online, most of the screenings at my theater on that opening weekend were packed. And it's we all go to the movies all the time. It's hit or miss, right? I'm going to go see The Presence tonight. And I was looking at the showtime, and it's it's not even halfway full of the theater, and it's a shame. But then every here and there, there's something that just gets that buzz, So all that to say, as far as if they should play more movies like this, I think that's the best way to get these movies out there. But it is that kind of weird thing of streaming is competing, and then they're like, should we just throw it on streaming, or should we just put it on a couple of releases? And now if things don't do well within a pretty short window of time, studios are so quick to pull something out of an area. I look at a movie like Better Man here in the States. Obviously, that's from obviously the story takes place in the UK, but here in the States, I've talked to a few friends that live in other countries, or not in the country, but what am I talking about? In other states that aren't as popular, and they don't even have screenings for Better Man anymore. But in my area, there's still a dozen over the course of the day. So I think that's kind of the tough part too, is that if certain areas aren't making the sales, they just pull it out, completely removing the opportunity for so many people to even see these films, So I'd love to see them do more of it, but it just seems like we're in this time where money is just really what's holding back from putting some of these more artsy films. And it's going to be the every time I look at my theater, it's going to be the popular Disney animated film, or the comic book movie, or the big popcorn IP franchise that legs out over having, even if they have they'll have like 20 screenings in a day, and you look, and like 97% of them are empty, but they still keep those ones out there because they know they're the ones people want to go see. So it's tough, man. It's a really tough thing. But I hope that we get to see more movies like The Brutalist come out. I'm ready for a 5-hour movie one of these days. You know, when's the next big 5-hour epic? Who knows?
Probably Wicked and Wicked Part 2. Imagine the one, I'm guessing.
They could do that with Dune as well. I think they could do like part 1 and 2, release them
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did like a bit of like a Lord of the Rings extended edition kind of all-day experience kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I had no problem watching like Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League, full 4-hour all the way through. I didn't have too much bother with that. So.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that was a good experience, to be honest. I haven't rewatched it, actually. I do want to check that out again. But very quick, I just want to throw this in. We've got Rashad. He's going to sit down for 5 damn hours.
Hey, listen, Rashad, we know you'd be asleep 20 minutes in anyway, so the rest of us will be awake for the 5 hours. But I think the closest we'll get outside of The Brutalist right now is at the tail end of this year. I believe we get the new Avatar movie, which I believe they said is over 3 hours as well. So that'll be our next probably a super long theatrical experience that I'm sure a lot of people are going to go see. Like that's one of those rare examples that the movie can be absolutely super long and people are going to go see it. So.
Oh man, I'll be there day one because like my dad's favorite movie is Avatar, so I took him to see The Way of Water, so I'm going to take him to see the next one as well, 100%. So that'll be a really cool experience. But yeah, like you're right, Perez. Just want to quickly touch on something you said about long legs. You know, that got a big word of mouth. My screen for that was packed as well, and I was like, wow, like what? This has no business to be packed, right? But it was like a really nice, pleasant surprise.
It's because the marketing was so good. Like just the way that the trailer like kind of showing you creepy images but not really giving too much away, like the social media stuff about it. Yeah, it was really good.
And which is crazy because they chose not to do the like the traditional marketing approach. They didn't put any trailers on TV. They didn't put posters out and like on the sides of buses or anything like that. They just did online marketing in the trailer and theater. And the fact that it was able to kind of generate that much buzz is pretty awesome.
I think one thing was it was compared to Silence of the Lambs as well, and that's a well revered movie. So when people hear that, they're like, "Wow, really? Like this is like Silence of the Lambs, or this is scary? Is that right? Okay, I'm there." But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you going to say, my friend?
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, I was going to chime in on the comment and say that I think marketing makes a huge difference because there's films like you say, Long Legs. Even a Nora did that was everywhere. Every other YouTube advert was a Nora trailer. And these films have all done really well. But then I remember seeing a trailer for a film called Sky Peels. I think it was on Mubi last year. I actually thought it looked quite interesting. I think it was about a son finds out his dad has died and he tries to reconnect because they weren't close. I could not find it for love nor money anywhere on TV, on streaming. I still haven't seen it. I've even looked on the 7 Seas, if you will, not to get in trouble, and I can't find it on there either. So I do think marketing, if, like you say, if you create that buzz or you put an actor in it that everyone's hot about and everyone's talking about, it can just take off. The Substance, that was just a trailer that I saw in the blink of an eye in the middle of watching a YouTube video. And I thought, that looks interesting. And then a month later, everyone's talking about it and how incredible it is, how mind-blowing it is, how weird it is. It's done brilliantly. So, yeah, it is part and parcel. I have it all the time. I try and go and see these films and I'm like, yeah, of course, it's not showing at my local cinema, but Inside Out 2 has 30 showings today. Brilliant. So I totally get that. But I do also think it's you just got to read the market a little bit. If the fans want it, the cinema will supply it one way or another.
Yeah, that's it. And I guess it depends on the movie studio as well. The distribution deals they've got in the background because A24 is weird with their marketing. I tend to find it all the time. So it'd be interesting to see with the Brutalist as well in the UK. But Pete, how about yourself, my friend? Do you think cinemas should kind of show more diverse artsy films?
Oh, definitely. And I think this time of year is perfect because we haven't got a big blockbuster till Captain America. I did see The Brutalist. I did actually just check it before going live. And I didn't even realize it was 3.5 hours long. But I guess because it's so long, they can only do so many showings because they need to fit other people in for other films. But yeah, definitely give it a shot. I remember last year Strange Darling was another film that did quite well, but couldn't find it nowhere around here, so I had to go elsewhere to find it. But when I finally watched it, it was amazing. But there was a lot of great smaller films that really made an impact last year, and they didn't have a huge marketing. I mean, Terrifier 3 nearly hit $100 million, which is unheard of. So it proves you don't need to have a huge marketing campaign full of money. Look at Red One, all that money that film cost. And all
It's
those
like, our
smaller
studio's not
films we
figuring out that-
made probably way more money than that. So it proves big stars, big marketing doesn't always need to be a thing. You can use YouTube, use all different websites, and you can make a bigger impact.
And it's crazy because with Red One, like that did really well when it hit Amazon Prime. Like it was like big like viewing numbers as well.
Well,
But I guess
yeah, you'd feel robbed if you paid for it. I paid £2 to see it, and I felt robbed.
Yeah, it's definitely where it belongs on Prime. Like, definitely.
Yeah, I know Perez will disagree, but I just think it's definitely not a Christmas classic. Let's put it that way.
Don't get me wrong. I liked it, but it's not. I'm not going to toe to toe for it. You know, like I thought it was enjoyable, stupid. It reminded me of my favorite Christmas movie, Jingle All the Way. Just as silly, just as stupid.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't go into it for any sort of grand storytelling. And the first time I got to see it, I won't lie. The first time I got to see it in 4DX for my very first time, and I think that just heightened the experience. You know, having the seat move to everything that was happening. But either way, not a movie that I'd go to war for, but you know, it was fine.
I could see Ryan. I was laughing. I could see Ryan shaking his head comparing it to a Jingle All the Way.
I think Jingle All the Way is substantially better.
Comparing it to that, but hey, I respect your opinion.
I was like, I love Jingle All the Way, but
so do I. Don't get me wrong. I think I just liked Red One a little bit because it reminded me of that. Now,
I get you. Yeah. I wasn't expecting the comparison. That kind of makes me want to check it out a little bit more, but
right. I mean, again, it's on Amazon Prime, so it's not missing with. And Elliot, how about you, my friend, to round out the question about more diverse artsy films?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think it's a lot as well. It can be with where you live. If you live in places like London, it's quite easy to get your hands on some of these releases because there's a cinema probably around every other corner or a 5-minute tube ride away. So it's quite accessible. Whereas, at least where I'm at, I've got 3 cinemas realistically to choose from. There is a 4th one, but that would require 40 minutes of driving and you got to pay to park as well. So that one is really last resort. I don't want to go to that one if I don't have to. Lovely cinema, actually one of the nicer ones of the 4 I've got to choose from, but £10 parking, I'm all right, thank you. So it's one of those. It depends where you are. I'm not in the most developed area. We're quite run down. There's a lot of places that are shut down and boarded up and stuff like that. So we're a bit unlucky in that regard. So you have to go to the nearest city for that sort of thing. So it's it is a tricky one. And I think it was what Jackson said. Or I think it might have been Anthony, sorry. It's what makes the money. Inside Out got 30 showings a day at my local cinema, and I'm pretty sure every single screening was packed to the rafters. They had a field day with that one. But Anora got 1 showing, and it was like 11 p.m. I think it started. And then you think about the adverts. So it probably didn't really start until like 1:45, and you'd probably be coming home at 2:30 in the morning, which isn't the greatest time either. So it's a tough scales balancing out act, but unfortunately the money does talk and it does tip heavily in that favor.
Right. And especially with like Inside Out and Pixar, like known IP as well, it's going to bring in money. I mean, it made, I think, was it 1.6 billion, if I'm not mistaken?
I can believe it. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, I think it's deserved. I really like the movie as well, but yeah, it's crazy like to see how many times or like that or like Minions, Despicable Me, like that's shown as well. Crazy amount of times. The one thing I will add into this, just to kind of add to the comments, because I kind of agree with all you guys, is to kind of add a bit here. On Wednesday coming up, I'm actually going to be driving like 45 minutes away to a complete cinema I've never been to before, because they're showing an anime movie called The Colors Within, and it's like getting like one showing in like the day, but it's like at none of the local cinemas where I am at all. And it's a shame because they're like, oh yeah, like get your tickets online. Like, so I was like, oh, let's see the newest one to me. It's like 45 minutes, which it's not too bad, but of course, an hour and a half really round journey just to go see the movie. So it's very strange for sure. I just I didn't hear Cinematic say my AMC's playing The Brutalist, but I'm not sure if I want to see it, which surprised me because Cinematic goes to see everything. So I'm really surprised by that one. We've got my brother Joe in the chat. He says, "Evening lads, hope everyone's doing good. Glad Z talks back." Well, hey Joe, thanks for tuning in.
Hey Joe.
And we've got Scottish Geek guy Jimmy saying, "Howdy folks, hey Jimmy, hope you're doing well." And we've got Jason, the Old Millennial. Hey Jason. Hey, just shot a video for Oscar nominations. I'm working on the video right now. Biggest surprises. I'm still here. Well, one thing I do want to touch on very quickly. So anyone who doesn't know Jason, he always watches the Best Picture nominees and he loves them. So it's our dreams are coming true. He's finally going to watch The Substance. So I'm excited to hear his appearance on The Substance. He's been avoiding it so much. So I've told him, I said, you need to do a live stream watch along. I'll watch that.
Yes, I'd be there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I had trouble. I mean, like, I'm a pretty big fan of like body horror and, you know, just really out there stuff. But there was something about like one of the early body horror scenes that I had to like, I got a little bit lightheaded and I had to like get up and walk around the hallway a little bit. So it's intense.
I think I know which one you mean. There's one that made me squirm, and I'm quite good. I sat through Terrifier 3 and laughed, if anything. But there was one in the Substance where even I was a bit like, no, don't do that.
There's a lot of gross moments to it, and one thing I'll just implore you guys as well, and anyone watching, if you like The Substance on YouTube, I think it's on Mubi's YouTube channel. They actually did like a 20-minute video of like the making of The Substance, and like it's all practical, and like they brought in these special effects for like the back sequences, and they could only do it once, so they had to get it right on the first takes. Really, really interesting behind the scenes look, and that. So I implore anyone talking about The Substance. Cinematic saying AMC's playing Colors Within. It's an anime movie for anyone who's not sure, so you don't have to follow a TV series to watch that or anything, but it looks interesting for sure. Viewer Drew saying, "Hey everyone, what's up?" Hey Drew, what's going on, my friend? And we've got quite a few questions, so I'll see if we can get including Tyler Babb saying Robert Eggers' next film will be a 13th century werewolf movie with old English dialogue. Thoughts? Ryan giving a bit of a shrug there.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy his films, but I was so bored throughout Nosferatu. Honestly, it looked incredible, but I was so bored throughout the whole thing. I was kind of hoping it would just hurry up and end, which is unfortunate because I loved The Northman so much and The Lighthouse. But yeah, I suppose if anyone's going to do an interesting werewolf film, hopefully it's better than The Wolfman that we got. I'm sure it will be. Won't take much. But yeah, I'm interested enough just because of the Robert Eggers name, even though it has been dampened a little bit with Nosferatu personally.
And it's interesting because Nosferatu got like 4 nominations as well at the Oscars, which I was quite surprised by, but I'm glad it did because it is incredible. Like one of the best looking movies you'll see in 2024, 2025, whenever you check it out, for sure. So yeah, Pete, how about you? What's your thoughts on Robert Eggers doing a werewolf movie?
If you're going to get anybody to do it, Robert Eggers is the man to do it. I think he is a really talented director, and he does have a really good attention to detail. So yeah, bring it on. I really did enjoy Nosferatu, so I'm excited to see what he does with a werewolf film. The only one I haven't seen of his is The Lighthouse, but I've heard really good things.
Yeah, I think you'll really like The Lighthouse.
It's weird.
It's
very weird. I think that's the reason why I've held off watching it.
Like there's one scene, not to ruin anything at all, but there's one scene we went to me and my girlfriend and we just looked at each other like.
It probably is his weirdest film. Thinking about it, I don't know if it's. I don't think it's my favorite of his, but it's up there and it's definitely his weirdest.
Yeah, I would say so as well. I mean, you never know. Maybe the werewolves might have mustaches on them. Who knows? With Robert Eggers and Nosferatu. Who knows? Elliot, how about you? What's your thoughts on Robert Eggers doing a werewolf movie?
I think the that combination of words just sounds perfect to me. I think that's right up his field. I think he'll knock that clean out of the park. It'll probably be film of the year when it comes out, because I don't know what it is, but anything in that sort of gothic horror aspect, he can just make it not only like a really compelling and interesting story, but he makes it look sadly beautiful. I couldn't quite put my finger on it in Nosferatu. There's so many shots that are kind of bleak and horrible, but also he's just framed it so gorgeously with such specific lighting and shading and times like that. He's just, it's his wheelhouse, anything of the macabre and gothic. If it said that Robert Eggers is making a Care Bears movie, I'd be a bit concerned. That I don't think that would work. But anything like that, yeah, I've got a big thumbs up, and I look forward to see what he does with that. I think the next exciting thing would to be what the casting is, who he goes for the werewolf.
Right, and it depends. I guess it I don't know if it's been announced. Is he just doing it where it's going to be one werewolf? Is it going to be a bit like a dog soldiers where it's like a pack of them, kind of thing? I'm kind of intrigued with that.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'm not too sure. This is the first I've actually heard of it, to be honest with you, but I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah, I definitely agree about the gothic style. He's definitely got a certain eye and flair for that kind of style of cinematography and look for his movie. So I think it could kind of suit pretty well. The casting, I think, will be interesting as well. I agree.
I would go on a whim and say Bill Skarsgård's going to be a werewolf, because that just seems to be what he's doing these days.
I mean, to be honest, if anyone's going to do a really impressive transformation scene, a bit like an American Werewolf in London, surely this guy's got to pull that off, So, be intrigued. Jackson, how about you?
First of all, I just realized something, that his last two movies, he's worked with different Skarsgård brothers. So maybe now he can go work with Dad Stellan Skarsgård to be the werewolf. But anyway, I think that probably suited him pretty well. I will say I hope it's kind of an original werewolf story, or at least not an adaptation of Universal Monster, Wolfman kind of stuff. I think Eggers, I've liked all of his movies. Nosferatu is probably my least favorite of the ones he's done so far. I think he probably is going to work better when he is doing more or less his own scripts and not doing a remake or adapting something very kind of skeletal and familiar. But I mean, I'll definitely check it. I like him enough to check out anything he does.
Yeah, and he's definitely had definitely an impressive filmography, whether you like his works or not so far. It's made mostly all received pretty good. So he's got a pretty solid track record for a guy who's did 4 movies,
Yeah. I also heard he's working on a Western. I don't know if that's confirmed, but I want to see him do that. Because I think he really understands American folklore really well, his first 2 movies especially. I would like to see him do more of that, because I think some of that's a bit unexplored in horror, I guess. But no,
a Western would be unique by him. I'll put it that way.
Because there's lots of dark Westerns. I mean, Jim Jarmusch's Dead Man is I don't know, what people think of as an acid Western. It's there's all this really trippy, almost horror images in it. But it's still fundamentally a Western. If he could go a little bit darker than that, I think. But yeah.
Well, that's cool. I've never heard of that one, I'll be honest. But
that's a good one. Yeah, check it out if you can. Yeah. Johnny Depp's in it.
Wow. Okay, I'm kind of intrigued. And Perez, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I want to echo what Elliot said. It's that string of words right there is as good as it gets. And I feel like, for me, I've been a big werewolf fan since I was a kid, in terms of the iconic horror monsters of any kind, any sort of horror mythology. Werewolves are always the coolest to me. I grew up loving the old Lon Chaney Jr. Wolfman. I even love at least the aesthetic of the 2010 remake they did with Benicio del Toro. While this is not a Wolfman movie, I think that kind of like Ryan said, it's after the Naked Mole Rat Man movie that we just got recently with the newest Wolfman movie. I just need a good werewolf movie. So I think Robert Eggers just has that he has something about him, man. And if he works with a lot of the same team, like he has, especially like the cinematographer who's done all of his films, who was just nominated for the cinematography of Nosferatu, I think they can make a really just lush, beautiful looking film. I'm sure the film will turn some people off because every time he kind of dips his toes into old English dialogue, it can be a little bit hard to, understand at times, kind of like what he did with The Witch, where it was like, it's a little bit tough to understand what they were saying. I think I appreciated that movie more on rewatch with some subtitles, because there was definitely chunks of the movie that I did not follow the dialogue the first time I saw it, for sure. So I am curious to see like what the approach is, and like you said, what the casting is going to be like. And more than anything, I just want to see the next zany Robert Eggers, Willem Dafoe performance. That's the thing I'm probably the most excited for. Whatever he plays, he should be the werewolf, honestly. I want Willem Dafoe's next Robert Eggers performance because I just know it's going to be like I don't know, the two of them together. Willem Dafoe is great on his own with this, but them two of them working together, there's something about his performances in his movies that are like both like captivating and crazy and weird, but also hilarious. I don't know about you guys, but like I laughed more in Nosferatu than I expected, but with the scenes Willem Dafoe, and I don't think it's because he's trying to be funny. There's just something about like how much he commits to these wild roles that just has me just chuckling. So I'm hoping he's in the movie, but just in the concept alone, it sounds really cool. I even saw like how they're spelling it. I think it's like just W, I think UR and then WULF. Like it's like spelled like old school, like kind of like werewolf. Like, so I think everything about it's gonna have like a unique tone to it, and I think he's like the perfect director for like a solid werewolf flick, which we definitely are in need of in recent years.
Yeah, we don't really tend to get many of them nowadays. I haven't seen The Wolfman yet, but I've been hearing mixed things. So let's just say that.
I'm going tomorrow for my birthday, as part of my birthday anyway. I know some of you guys who don't like it are gonna be like, oh no, don't do it for your birthday.
You deserve better than that, Jackson.
I don't know. I mean, like as far as like the other options in cinema, I'll see if Better Man is still playing near me. I'm really sorry about missing that, especially Anthony. I know loved it.
I mean, if you want an advocate for Better Man, who better to ask this man who's seen it 4 times and who's busy popping up the box office for that movie.
Yeah, I was gonna go see it. I was gonna go see it again tonight, and I was texting Mike about it. I was like, I'm in between going to see Better Man one last time in theaters, or just going to see like Presence and like get the ball rolling on the new releases.
Yeah,
Mike made the good point of like, hey, just like maybe you should go see that. If it was me, I'd go see the new release. But man, I've listened to the soundtrack of Better Man like to completion at least 2 or 3 times a day, just like doing stuff or driving. And I really just love the movie. Like I can't even explain it. But I've done a bunch of videos on my channel for anybody who wants to listen to me ramble specifically about Better Man. I mean, it also came out in a very like the themes of the movie really hit me with when it came out in my life as well. Like last year was kind of a rough year for me in a lot of ways. So I think like kind of like the way it tackles. Listen, and mind you, I want to make it clear. I knew of Robbie Williams. I knew of Take That as a music fan, but I wasn't really a fan of his. I didn't know shit about his story. I went into this solely as just a movie fan who saw a weird concept of him being portrayed as an ape and walked out like just a flat out fan of this movie and how it depicts things and the visual effects and the musical numbers. And there's a deep raw theme in there that's like, I think like the trailers make it look like this kind of like I want to be famous, like, like kind of movie. Whereas like it's got like these richer themes about like self-hatred and depression and anxiety and all these different things that like the way they tackle it is just so interesting. I can't help but love that film. I literally tell all my coworkers all the time to go see the movie to the point that they're getting annoyed with it. And I told them that I'm an unpaid ambassador for the film right now. Like Robbie Williams doesn't know it, but I'm trying to get everybody in the state of Florida to go see his movie. But it hasn't really been working out for me though.
Yeah, you've been trying to get them to recoup that box office money because it made like I think $1 million on a $110 million budget.
Yeah, it bombed. It bombed 100%, man. Worldwide, it seems. It's a shame. I think it's gonna be one of those movies that people are going to catch up on streaming eventually. People are like, there's such a conversation around it that it looks dumb. Oh, look, this ape, like that. There's just such a conversation around it that people just aren't intrigued by the concept. This looks stupid. But more often than not, it's either the conversation is, and there's been people who've seen it and it wasn't for them, but more often than not, what I'm seeing online is this looks stupid, I don't want to see it, or I saw it and damn, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. Whether they loved it as much as me or just was like, oh, this was actually pretty good. I feel like that's been the general consensus on the film. And so I hope that once it hits streaming and stuff like that in the years to come, it just becomes one of those movies where people are like, oh, damn, like this actually wasn't half bad. Like the Ape Robbie Williams movie. And mind you, again, not even a Robbie Williams fan until I saw this. I didn't know any of his songs outside of maybe a couple that I recognized in the movie until I didn't even know it was his songs, though. It wasn't until this movie came out that I was like, damn, like now I'm listening to Robbie Williams all the time and I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
And Robbie Williams' Spotify streams have just gone up since this man's seen that movie.
Pretty much, man, honestly.
Thrown in the Better Man conversation, got Jimmy saying Better Man is brilliant, one of my top movies of 2024. Sin as well. Hey Sin, what's going on? She says Better Man was fantastic, so twice and would go more, but it's gone from my area.
I'm worried it is for me too. Because I was really planning on seeing it this week, but we had some other things and just didn't get around to it. But I'll check it out sometime regardless because it sounds really cool.
Perez, you've convinced me. I have to admit that was a very convincing speech because I was one of those people who saw that trailer and went, are we really doing this? Are we really doing a Robbie Williams biopic with a chimp? Okay. I wrote it off straight away, but I'm looking at the comment section here. I've seen some of you guys' reviews. I literally haven't heard a single person say it was crap. Everybody has said that was decent to really good. The best, like the worst I've heard was 6, 7 out of 10. I think it's like the lowest score I've seen for it. So I might have to eat my words. I might have to actually check this film out and see if it's
great, man. It's really something because I think for me, more than anything, outside of like the fun dance numbers and like the appreciating like the choreography and the set design and the cinematography, because all that's great. It's got some really nice lighting in the film too. It just got nominated today for best visual effects for the ape element because it's a weird concept. And at first, the first scene with this ape, you're gonna maybe have a chuckle in your mind. But as you get 20 minutes, 30 minutes into the movie, you're not really thinking about it anymore because he's so well integrated into these sequences. And none of the characters, none of the people in the movie see him that way. It's just we see him that way because that's how he saw himself. It's kind of like an outsider, like a freak, or as he says, like unevolved is the way that he explained it. And so as the movie plays out, for me, what was really surprising is you got this chimp at the center of it, but it is such a wildly human story. I think we can all relate to like the voices in our head. And I think what this movie really does well is it's harsh. It's like a biopic, but it's not like a grounded, like straightforward biopic, like a Bohemian Rhapsody where it just tells you the story. It's also not like a fluff piece. And Bohemian Rhapsody is a good example. Most people know Freddie Mercury had a much darker life, but since he's passed away, Queen wanted to make that movie, more of a fluff piece, something that was a little bit more light. Let's celebrate the band, which is fine. We have movies that have that place. I appreciate that Robbie Williams was part of making this movie and said, hey, let's just completely dive into like when I was a coke addict, alcoholic piece of shit and tell this story about how I became better through these things. And the way that they're able to kind of lean into like a fantasy element of the movie where like portions of the movie are in his head. So like certain musical numbers take place in the real world. Certain ones take place in his head. And then he's got these voices in his head. So throughout the course of the film, he's visualizing these self-hatred thoughts in the audience as he's going through the movie. So like he sees himself as younger versions of himself, hating on himself as time goes on. And it's really about battling those demons in his mind and battling the depression and the anxiety and working through this addiction. And you get to this sequence, I don't want to spoil anything, but you get to the sequence in the end where he really has to take on his demons. And the way it's visualized, because the film is kind of removing itself from reality and allows itself to kind of have like a fantasy in his mind element, there's just elements of this film you're like, this is the last thing I expected to see in this movie. Like there's parts of it that are super surreal and trippy, and there's parts of it that are grounded, there's parts of it that are human, there's parts of it that are just wacky, there's action sequences in the movie. Like there's stuff that you don't see in the trailer because it looks like a just traditional music biopic. It's just not that. It just doesn't, like I see Sin just left a comment saying that the trailer doesn't reveal how dark the movie is, and it is. Like it's actually like a heavy human story. And if you've ever struggled with like substance abuse or depression, anxiety, self-hatred, any of those things, I feel like you cannot walk out of this movie without feeling like, oh shit, like I can relate to that on some degree, you know. And I think it's, again, having a chimp at the center of it, but having it be such a human story, that the duality of that is just incredible.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I'm definitely convinced. I went from not going to bother with this at all to I'm definitely going to check this out now.
No, it's a great pitch.
Yeah,
I've really been
same
enjoying
here.
like
The
the
trailer
rewatch
looks
for it.
stupid. It does.
Oh yeah.
And I would love to see your guys' reviews for that as well. Like, see if you're like kind of Anthony, or if you're not Mr. End as well. Because even with Elliot, when he loves the movie, he's like giving all these posts, and he's like, "But," and you knew it was coming.
Yeah, there's always something. Yeah.
Which I always enjoy though. We've got Jason saying, "Can we have a Beatles biopic played by 4 animated Beatles, or a Monkeys biopic played by a monkey?" I mean, Jason, it could happen. To be honest, it could. I think they're making a Beatles biopic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, they're doing all of them.
Yeah, we'll see on that one. Just to kind of throw in a couple of comments from a little bit earlier. Jimmy was saying, if I can show a comment, he says 10% Red One is a perfectly fine streaming original. Expectations were so low by the time I watched it. I thought it was okay, and the kids liked it. Okay, that's good, man. Yeah, at least you guys didn't hate the movie. And I think at that time it was kind of perfect because it was like kind of towards end of December, kind of going into the new year, being a Christmas movie, and of course like having The Rock and like Chris Evans and stuff like that. A big title, like it's a big movie to go on Amazon as well. So yeah, I could really get that. Nick was saying about the Brutalist, by the way. So he's just giving an example. He says, "So I live in Eastbourne, a small coastal town. It's not opening there. The next Cineworld is in Brighton, Cosmopolitan City, not opening. Nearest is Crawley, and that's just mad." Yeah, it's
quite a threat. Wow.
Just a little bit, for sure.
That surprises me that Brighton doesn't have it. I'm assuming you mean because when I lived in London, I did visit Brighton, just the one that's like just south of London, like on the coast, probably. That seems like a big enough town that it probably would, but that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really talking like earlier. It's always interesting, like which cinemas get which releases or how many showings they have per day, and. Yeah, Nick, I hope you get a chance to see it, and I hope when you do, I hope you really enjoy the movie, especially if you're doing a 3-hour round trip, my friend, as well.
Yeah.
I really hope it's good. We're talking about body horror, and Cinematic added, and he said, "I'm not sure if the human centipede is counted as body horror, but it made me physically sick. I had to go outside for fresh air."
I have like a probably right. I mean, I haven't seen it, but just from the sentence, I would think.
I'd say there's elements of it in there. Yeah.
I would definitely say there's some body horror in that in Human Centipede, and then once you get into the second one, it's disgusting. Like that movie is horrible on a story level, and it is just pure disgusting. If you couldn't stomach the first one, you will not stomach the second one. I'll tell you that.
Hey, hands up! I was snacking watching that movie. I was
really
chilling, eating crisps, just like, hey. I haven't seen the second one, so I maybe not for that one, but
the second one, man, they just went freaking brutal because like the first one is like that you got like an actual doctor doing this human centipede element to it, so he's like he knows how to do proper surgical stitching and stuff like that. He's stitching these people's ass, mouths to assholes and shit, and like at least it's done with like surgical precision. The second one is like a meta film where the movie opens with like this just kind of like gross, like just kind of creepy dude that works at a parking lot, and he's watching the first movie, and so he decides to do it himself. So he starts capturing people and doing it to them, but he's using like nail guns and just like hammer and nails and staple guns, and like he does it without any sort of surgical know-how, and so the tools he's using just makes it far more like disgusting. Like and they went for it. They're like, let's make this as just disgusting as possible. There's like a pregnant woman that he adds to this at a certain point too. Like it's just, and she gives birth during the movie amidst this whole human centipede thing. It's something else, that movie. Disgusting.
I would like to say I've seen it, but it's been a long time, so I can't really remember. I never saw the third one.
I feel like you'd remember if you'd seen that.
It was that long ago. I can't remember when that released, but it was a long time ago. I remember the third. I haven't seen the third one, but I remember seeing the poster where the premise is of attaching like 100 people together, like but in a jail yard kind of thing. And I was like, what the hell?
Right.
how have we gone from the first one to like 100 people, like jail inmates? I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely I guess, intriguing watch. I guess. Who knows? Menagio saying, "Hey everyone, hey Menagio, what are we doing?
Hey.
Well." Cinder saying about Better Man. One of my initial complaints about Better Man was the musical numbers were too long. After second view, complete no longer stands. I love them all. Awesome to hear, Sin. Yeah, and again, I wanted to see the other guys' reactions as well.
I will say that happens.
Oh my god.
I was just gonna say I think that happens with musicals sometimes though. About like it can be one way or the other. Like actually on the other end, when I first saw Rocky Horror Picture Show, I really loved it, and I rewatched it again, and I still like it. Like especially like the first half is really cool, but a lot of the musical numbers towards the end, like I just felt like were way too dragged on. There's just way too many of them, so that can definitely happen.
So yeah, sometimes it can. Depends on the movie as well, and if it fits in, perfect timing and stuff as well. I think Better Man does personally, I think, a pretty good job with the musical numbers. I didn't feel like they're dragged out personally, but I know Perez definitely doesn't think that. So
No, not at all. But you know what? Fair enough.
I want to throw this comment in here because I think this is quite an interesting one. I have heard about this because Josh is saying The Brutalist is probably the film of the decade. Hope it wins Best Picture, but voters didn't finish it, which I found really interesting that they get this opportunity to vote for these movies, but then they're not finishing the movie. Like
there's a history of that, from what I understand.
So stupid.
Yeah, and sometimes I will say it is kind of a like what they'll pick the movie they think is like the most important kind of thing, and a lot of them won't watch it. I mean, I love 12 Years a Slave. I think it's a great movie, but I do think a lot of the Academy voters did not finish it, from what I heard. So
no.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that then, because even like when that was it 2012?
2013, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was close. But yeah, around that point, we didn't, because nowadays it's more common to have like a 2.5, 3 hour movie, whereas then I felt like it wasn't as quite common. I mean, don't get me wrong, there'll be a lot of them there were, but not as much nowadays, like Kills the Flower Moon, for example, and then Maestro at the time and all that kind of stuff. Like, awesome. I just have to throw this coming in and I burst out laughing. So my partner Emma's in the chat. She says, Human Centipede used to be my go-to hangover movie to remind me things could always be worse.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
I mean, that is very true, to be fair.
You picked a good one, Mike.
Right. Hey,
always looking on the bright side.
Right. I didn't actually know that, to be fair, so that's interesting. I might have to see if she wants to watch the full trilogy at some point. Science saying I switched Human Centipede 2 off after 5 minutes. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Menagio says, has anyone seen Jungle to Jungle and Shaggy Dog from Tim Hop?
I have. Yeah.
I've seen Shaggy Dog.
I've seen Shaggy Dog. Yeah.
I've heard of Shaggy Dog. I've seen like the poster many times, but Jungle to Jungle, I don't know what that is.
I've seen Jungle to Jungle and Shaggy Dog. I think Jungle to Jungle came out, I want to say like 90s, late 90s, maybe early 2000s. Shaggy Dog, I remember seeing that, and then when that came out around that time, because it's a remake, my mom had shown me the original film at some point around that time, though I don't really remember the original film all that much, but I have seen both of those movies.
Okay. And I've just looked up the poster, by the way, just by listening to that Jungle to Jungle poster. I've seen the poster before, but not often. No, I didn't know anything about it, to be honest. Shaggy Dog, though, yeah, I've seen the poster for that one. But yeah, he's seen great, light-hearted, feel-good movies. Right.
I don't really remember much about it. I mean, it was like a Disney Channel movie, right? The Shaggy Dog. I don't know. I need to. Maybe I will check that out again at some point. Don't have the best memories of it.
It's released many years ago, as far as I remember, right?
Yeah, it's been around. It's been after. I think that was like early 2000s.
Yeah, it's about 20 years old, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
My girlfriend's trying to get us to watch Sea Spot Run. I don't know if anybody's seen that.
I have, yeah. That takes me back. I saw that as a kid. It's super. It's definitely for kids. It's a kids silly fun dog movie. You can probably once the movie starts, you'll be like, I know exactly where this movie's gonna go. But I haven't seen it in many years, so I can't speak to if it's still good today.
Okay, I just had to look that up. 2001. Wow. Okay. No, I don't know anything about that one, Ryan. Is there a reason why? Like, does she love that movie? Is it one of her childhood
just
favorite movies, or
she really enjoyed it growing up. I've never even heard of it, so
okay.
It has a sketchy opinion on movies, I think, sometimes, so it might be interesting. But I'll listen to Anthony. I might enjoy it. I love Beethoven, so it might be similar to that.
Right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie completely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is there any movies on your guys' kind of list right now that you should maybe check out or you want to check out but haven't got to at the moment?
Oh god, there's a few.
Because as Ryan saying, his partner was saying, "Oh, like check out, See Spot Run," right? But he's like, not really too sure.
There's just off the top of my head, while you're mentioning films like See Spot Run and all these nostalgic ones, you're making me think of, did anybody else have these? Like, your cousin would have these really obscure, weird movies that nobody else knew about. My cousin had some really weird ones, and every time I mention them, like, nobody else has heard of them. Did anybody else see a film called Nobody's Boy when they were a kid? Because it's one of the most depressing films ever made, and it is for kids. It's a really sad film about I think it's loosely, if my memory serves me right, it's loosely copying Oliver Twist, but just way more brutal.
It's interesting.
Does anybody else recognize that film? Because nobody else seems to recognize it, but my cousin did famously have these really weird films when we were kids.
Do you know what year it came out?
Oh, this would be, I reckon it's early 90s it came out, like maybe 91, 92 maybe. I'll see if I think it was called Nobody's Boy. If I'm wrong, it might have the title wrong. I'll have to ask her. She'll remember it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on a Google search. One came up for like 2021, so I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm getting a book come up. Mate, I've possibly got the title wrong. I'll have to come back to you on that one and see if I've got the name right.
I've never seen Watership Down with the rabbits.
Yeah.
And after watching Friends, they mentioned Cujo, the killer dog. I've never seen that. I'm kind of interested to watch it. But
yeah, that's a fun movie. That's like a fun schlocky horror film, but it's definitely dated. But it's a fun one.
Yeah, Friends act like it's terrifying, and it's fine. Yeah,
right. It's more.
That would probably be me watching it, though. To be fair, I'm not good with that stuff.
Nah, Ryan's not good with horror at all. He's slowly starting to get it. He saw Terrifier 3, so. But now saying, have we all seen Herbie Fully Reloaded? The Lindsay Lohan one. Yeah, I went to the cinema to see that.
Yeah.
I saw that in the cinema back when. Yeah. God, that takes me back. Wow.
Yeah, no.
I never saw any Herbie movies for that one.
I actually remember seeing that movie that day. I think I saw it with my sister and my dad, and I can remember what theater we were at and everything. I don't remember the movie all too well. I think we thought it was super cool because they were showing like a week early screening, but this was like before that became commonplace. Like nowadays, there's early screenings for everything, but at the time, I think I thought it was so cool that we were about to watch a Herbie movie early, even though I was never even a Herbie fan.
Yeah, I think that had big marketing at the time. I remember in the cinema I went to, like, had the Herbie car like outside as well, so you could like take pictures with it too at the time. So it was a big movie for the time, and Lindsay Lohan, especially at that point, it was starting to get huge in her career. Just very quick. Oh, sorry.
Sorry there. Just while we're mentioning like really lesser known films, I've just thought a mad one for you if you haven't seen it. Joe's Apartment, Singing Cockroaches, unbelievable.
Yeah. I saw that
on YouTube, Joe's Apartment, and watch one of the clips. It's so funny. It's mad.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's something.
Never heard of that one, but I tell you what, I did watch though the other night. 8 Crazy Nights with Adam Sandler, the animated movie.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that.
Man, that was bad.
I love that film. I love it.
Well, I was annoyed with him in 5 minutes of that movie, Adam Sandler.
They're on the topic of like movies that people kept telling you to watch over and over again. I did check one of those off the list the other night. I watched Zoolander. I've never seen that.
Oh yeah,
that was so funny. Especially the scene involving fights at the gas station.
yeah.
Oh,
Classic.
so good.
I've seen bits and pieces of Zoolander, the first one, but I've seen the second one though.
So have I. I wish I never had. I bought the Blu-ray for £1 and I felt ripped off.
Oh, Pete, it's bad.
It is.
It's really bad.
Here's a hot take. I did watch about 2/3 of Dumb and Dumber, and I absolutely hated it. I had to turn it off.
Wow.
I detested
I haven't seen it, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Stay clear of Dumb and Dumberer, the sequel. That is atrocious.
Yeah, I've heard it's really bad. The first one's put me off enough.
To be fair, Pete, you might like the sequel better than the first one.
Probably would do. I'd probably say it's underrated.
I like the first one of the Dumb and Dumber films, but the prequel they did and the sequel, not good. Stay away. If you didn't like the first Dumb and Dumber, then you will not like the other ones.
Nah. I remember really liking Dumb and Dumber, but I haven't seen it in many years. So I don't know if it holds up still nowadays or not. But not sure. Very quickly though, before we carry on, because I do know we have to say goodbye to Anthony, because I know Anthony's got to sign off. He's got a few work things he'd like to do. Link to Anthony's channels down below in the description box as well. Anthony, do you just want to plug your channel and tell everyone what you got coming up?
Yeah, man. Well, firstly, thanks so much for having me on. It was great to chat with all of you guys and just talk about movies. Never gets boring ever. As for things to plug, I just dropped a review for I'm Still Here, which actually got 3 nominations today, this morning for the Oscars. It's a Brazilian film that I had heard a lot about at the tail end of last year, and then one of my Brazilian coworkers actually hit me up like 2 weeks ago saying, "Hey, you need to check this out when it comes to the States." It's coming to the States now, I think in 2 or 3 weeks. But I got sent an early screener to check it out. Just dropped a review for that. Definitely, I think a film that film fans should see for sure. If you're going to see any of the international pictures of the ones I've seen, I think that I'm Still Here is certainly one to check out. If anything, for Fernanda Torres's performance, who was also nominated today for her performance. Really solid performance. Outside of that, I'm probably going to go see Presence tonight. So I should have a review up for that soon. Tomorrow I'm seeing Flight Risk, so I'll probably have a review up for that as well. And then tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, Mike will be on with Rashad of Rashad G Reviews, as we'll be talking about The Lion King 1.5, which is wrapping up our reviews of the animated Lion King films. For anybody who has not already seen them, Mike had never seen The Lion King or like the original Lion King at all. So he came onto the channel a couple months ago. So if you want to see his reaction for that for the very first time, definitely go check that out. And we did the second one as well. But yeah, man, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good time on the rest of the stream. All right.
Yeah. Take care, brother. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
See you
How you
soon.
doing, guys?
And yeah, so it's been an interesting kind of discussion, and we've got another one to add in here. I just want to throw this in. So Drew's saying, watch burn comedy movies of the 2000s decade: The Hangover, Pineapple Express, and Tropic Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, Tropic Thunder is really well loved, and I've only seen it once, but back when, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, which is a bit of a hot take. But I do need to rewatch it though, because again, just the amount of love that it gets as well.
Another underrated 2000 film, Employee of the Month. That's a good shout if you haven't seen it. It's a nice, easy watch.
You know, I actually rewatched that like a week and a half ago. A week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It was okay. It's not as good as I remember it was, but I remember seeing it in the cinema though at the time, and I really loved it back when. Yeah, it's not a bad movie though. Patrick saying, Mike, you've never watched Lion King. No, I had never watched the original Lion King until like a few months ago, which is insane.
Wait, should we do? Because I think he was asking about for all of us, do we like it's like sort of watch, own, or
keep watching.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
okay, right, okay. Thank you, Jackson, because I was like, keep watching Burn. I was like,
Just wanted to
okay.
check. Yeah.
I did wonder if by burn he meant as in their weed comedies in that sense. No, I got you.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, right. So keep watch or burn out of Hangover, Pineapple Express, and Tropic Thunder.
Okay.
Okay, Jackson, you got the question. You got the gist of the questions. I'll let you
Sure.
go first.
Yeah, I'd probably I've never been a big Pineapple Express guy. But, like, there's some funny moments in it, but it's just not really for me. So I'd probably burn that one. I rewatched The Hangover recently. I wasn't too huge on it, but like there a little bit more like stuff I enjoyed in that. And then Tropic Thunder I love. Like really definitely would go with Tropic Thunder for keep.
Nice. Yeah, I rewatched the Hangover trilogy actually last year. That third one's terrible.
I think I've seen the second one. I don't think I ever saw the third one. I was just kind of like, why are they still making these? But okay.
I mean, I'll say this. I appreciate they tried to do like something different with the third movie, but it just doesn't work.
Isn't it like a heist or something? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
owe somebody money, if I remember correctly, but it's over. Isn't it? What's his name? John, the big guy. He's Fred Flintstone from the 90s.
Oh, what, John Goodman?
Oh,
John
Yeah,
Goodman.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I think John Good.
Yeah.
They owe John Goodman money, but it's very vague in my memory.
yeah, he's in it. Melissa McCarthy's in it as well. It's like a love interest for Alan's character. Yeah, it's like Hangover meets Mission Impossible. Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't know how that works. So Elliot, how about you? What are you keeping, watching, or burning out of Hangover, Pineapple Express, and Tropic Thunder?
Well, like Jackson, I love Tropic Thunder. I love how abrasive it is. I love how much it doesn't care. It just puts a middle finger up at the screen and says, suck it. This is what we're doing. Whether you like it or not, you can be offended. It's not our problem. So, and it still holds up. I think we watched it. It might have been early last year and we were still laughing our heads off at it. So Tropic Thunder definitely keep. I'm a bit like Jackson. I'm a bit hit and miss on Pineapple Express. I think it's fine. There's some good bits in there. So I'd probably watch that one. And I've never liked the Hangover movies. Even when they first came out, I was the only guy. Everyone at school was laughing at them and saying how funny, look at the baby. And I'm like, yeah, it was crap, but okay. So quite an easy choice for me. I'd have to burn the Hangover. But I will say this, I do hate the sequels far more.
At least some love, I guess, for that first movie.
Yeah.
I love how much Tropic Thunder is it is like sort of putting a middle finger to the audience, but especially a middle finger to like Hollywood. Like it is, I think the best movie about like the lengths actors will go to for a role. Like the whole line about I Am Sam. I recently watched that, like that actual movie, and I was just thinking about Tropic Thunder the whole time. I was like, this is so exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah. It does keep popping up in pop culture and things like that, and you're like, yeah, they might have had a point actually.
Yeah.
And with everyone who loves that movie, like I really do want to rewatch it again because I think I watched it like shortly after it originally released, so I haven't seen it since then. And again, I know it's like well revered, well loved as well. So you guys are kind of selling me on watching it again. I'll be quite honest with you. So I'm going to just make mine very quickly. I'm not going to burn any because I've not seen Tropic Thunder in a long time, so I can't comment. Hangover, probably keep and watch Pineapple Express. Nice and easy. Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, just the same as Jackson and Elliot, really. I enjoyed Pineapple Express. Nothing too amazing, so I would probably burn that movie. I enjoyed The Hangover, so I would definitely watch it, but most certainly keeping Tropic Thunder. That was so good. I've seen it a couple of times since it's released, and I certainly want to start watching it again. Everybody was just so well casted, and great shout, Jackson, with I Am Sam. I quite enjoyed that movie when I first seen it. And yeah, Danny McBride as well in Tropic Thunder, someone who I don't think gets enough love. He was brilliant in that film, and I would definitely like to see more of Danny McBride and other stuff as well.
He's too busy kind of producing horror movies at the moment with David Gordon Green. So, yeah. That's an interesting route of filmography he's gone into. And Pete, how about you?
Well, I'm probably going to keep Pineapple Express. I really did enjoy that one. I'll watch that. I've only ever seen it once, as with Tropic Thunder, and I did enjoy that, so I'll have that on watch. I wouldn't mind rewatching Tropic Thunder, but I've never seen the Hangover films.
Oh, okay.
So I've heard the first one's really good, and the rest of them don't watch, so I'll have to get around to watching the original one sometime, and hopefully I will enjoy it.
Yeah, like the first one's really enjoyable, and I think the sequels do start to fall off, to be honest. Like the second one's okay, but then the third one, yeah. So it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts, Pete. I'll look out for your letterbox review when you get to the first one eventually. But great question, Drew. And Perez has popped in with a question as well. He says, question, what was your most disappointing film of 2024? So not the worst, but the one you're most excited for, feeling left sad.
That's a great question.
That's a really good question. I have to think about it.
For me, I've got an easy one. I'm going to make it quick. For me, it was Joker Follow You Do. It's simply because it was my only anticipated movie for 2024. I never said it in any reviews. I was like, finally, we get to my most anticipated movie, and we get Joker Follow You Do. It's not the worst movie for me personally. I don't hate the movie whatsoever. I think it's actually some really good elements to it, but I think there's some questionable choices that they went with, and I think ultimately looking back on it, I mean, I'll be interested maybe 5 years time on a rewatch, be like, right, actually, does it actually hold up a little bit better than it did? But yeah, I was disappointed, especially being my most anticipated movie as well. So that's it for me. If any of you guys have got an answer.
Yeah, funnily enough, me and D Movie Man were talking about this not long ago, and I think me and him mostly agreed on it, but mine would be Maxine. I really liked X, and I actually liked Pearl even more, so I was really hyped to see what they were going to do with Maxine. I was hoping this was going to be even better than Pearl, but it's not that it's a bad film, but by the end of it, I felt so unsatisfied and so unfulfilled. I just sort of felt, I don't know what that was all about, really. It just felt a bit messy and didn't really know what it wanted to say or what direction it wanted to go in. Good aspects of it. I thought they caught the 80s, late 70s sort of time vibe really well. And I still think Mia Goth does a fantastic job, but it's so messy and so by the end. It doesn't really say anything. Where Pearl stayed with me for like a week on end, and that ending shot of her holding that maniacal stare at the camera really burnt its way into my brain. Maxine, I'd forgotten about that about 30 minutes after watching it. It really didn't say anything by the end. So that was quite highly anticipated for me, and it just didn't really do anything by the end, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with you, Elliot. No, I completely agree. Yeah, like I really like the other two entries as well, and I think for capturing a time period, Maxine and The Holdovers have probably the two best movies that's done that as of late, and maybe Nosferatu, I guess you could add in there as well. Yeah. But yeah, like same as you, Elliot. Like me and Emma turned to each other like after the movie, and we're like, "That was crap."
One of those ones where you don't want to admit it, but it might be true.
Big swing and a miss.
Yeah,
so I think that's a great pick. I agree. Any of you guys? Have you guys got a pick?
Yeah, Maxine was one that came to mind, but the other big one that I was really excited about, just because of all the discourse and all the hype I had heard about it, was Megalopolis.
Oh yeah,
So I was really I have so many friends actually like in a film like Discord I'm in that like really defend the film as like this like late style like interesting old man masterpiece. I cannot get on board whatsoever. It's a movie that is so up its own, you know what, and just so egotistical. No, I went into it a little bit on Leon and I's like worst movie stream, but yeah, that was disappointing for sure.
I haven't seen it, right, but I've got a bit of a story. So I actually had booked in as a double feature. On that day, I was going to go see Hellboy, Crooked Man, and then Megalopolis, right?
Cool.
I got off Hellboy, Crooked Man, and I was like, I can't be bothered for another movie, so I didn't watch it.
Because
ever since
Megalopolis as well, like it feels like 4 hours long. Like I think it's only like 2.5, but it feels so long.
I've not heard a good review on it at all. Like Ryan didn't like it. I know Elliot didn't like it, and I was like, nah, I'm out.
It's an exercise in time wasting, is what Megalopolis is.
Like I can't believe like that was somebody's passion project. I mean, the bones of it, like I get, like there's something there that you could do as like your big 40-year passion project, but the amount of like weird like improvisation that they do that just completely, it just makes it feel like the scene wasn't directed. Like I know everybody loves that line where he's like, they take it out of context where he's like, so go back to the club. And it's like, it's a funny line, but makes no sense in the context of the scene because it was clearly just improvised. There's a lot of that in the movie.
Wow. You guys haven't sold me on that movie.
It's a complete mess. It is. You come out of it and like, what the heck was that? 2.5 hours of what was it? A bit of land they were moaning about.
Sorry, Pete. I didn't realize you'd seen Megalopolis.
Yeah, I watched it. I knew it weren't going to be very good, but I thought I'll go and see it because it's a Francis Ford Coppola movie. And when I come out, there was an older gentleman there, and he said, "What the heck's happened to him? He used to make quality films. What was this?" I said, "I know." And I said, I told him all the story that he sold his vineyard and all that for it. He said, "Dear me, why would you go and do that?" It is a very strange film. There's a bit where Adam Driver recites Shakespeare for some reason. It just doesn't make no sense. It feels like he's trying to make his own art house version of The Room. It's that bad.
In some theaters, it was weird for me because I watched it in one of the smaller theaters, so I didn't get this. But there's an interactive scene in the movie where someone gets up on stage and talks to Adam Driver on the screen, and they talk back and forth. I didn't get that, but what did happen was for a very small portion of the movie, the aspect ratio went down to like a box TV, like as if it's on my Mac now.
Yeah.
Weird. I had no idea what was going on. For a minute, I genuinely thought about going out and talking to the projector and saying, is this meant to happen? But I thought, I'll give it a minute. It might just be meant to do this. And it turns out I think it's meant to do that. I don't know why, but very weird.
What?
And one more thing, I will just say, like, on the whole point of like it being his ego project. Literally, the plot of the movie is that he is the most genius, the greatest, smartest guy ever, and the problem with the world is that we're not giving him enough resources to go out and build the big greatest thing that anyone's ever seen. So we need to give him all of the money. That's literally like what it's about.
Or else he will sell his vineyard.
And like his movie studio, like has he got his own movie studio to do this? Or
most of it was independently financed, but I don't know. Because who distributed? Was it Lionsgate that ended
Lionsgate did it. It was another flop for them last year because they had hordes of them, didn't they?
Well, I've just seen that. Just looked it up. So the budget was between 120, 136 million, and they made 13.9.
Oh, that's worse than Better Man. That's
wow.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. Pretty bad.
But I saw it in theaters. I paid.
Well, Ryan, you saw it as well, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. I almost feel like I deserve a Medal of Honor for making it through to the full length of the movie. It's the first film I've ever walked out on. The moment I had a glimpse that was about to finish, I was out of there. I was gone. It was so bad. As Jackson was saying, it literally feels like as we were talking before, like 7 hours. That's what I thought it was like. Almost, I came out of the cinema, I felt like I had just hibernated for like 2 weeks. It was just not good at all. Yeah, terrible film. Mike, you would have wanted to end it all if you went to see that double bill. That's a terrible day. That's a terrible day.
Yeah, it would have been it was bad enough of Hellboy, Crooked Man, to be honest. Never mind
That would have
That
been a
on top
really
of
bad
it.
day.
Probably would have put me off doing double bills forever, to be honest, if
Yeah.
I did that. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, what about Pete and Ryan? What about you guys? What's your most disappointing movie of 2024?
Ooh. I'm going to say The Fall Guy. I was moderately positive for. I thought it was going to be good. The trailers looked good. Ryan Gosling was great in Barbie, and I thought, oh, it's going to be good. Oh my days! After 20 minutes, I wanted to get out. It was dreadful. It was. I could not stand it. I thought it was unfunny, boring, and I just couldn't put up with it no longer. I couldn't believe the relationship between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. I think I was just so glad it was ending. The only good thing about it was the cameo by Lee Majors, who starred in the original Fall Guy when it came out in the 70s or 80s. And maybe a little bit disappointing in Deadpool. It was still good, but I think for me it was the weakest of the three. And Maxine definitely felt very sedate for after both X and Pearl. They were really good films, and Maxine just kind of just it was just there, didn't really say much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an interesting pick, Pete, as well, because I know a lot of people did like that movie, Fall Guy. But I'm kind of like you. Like, I think there was some good elements to it, but I wasn't a huge fan of like the romance mixed in with the action and like in these really impressive action sequences. We get Emily Blunt singing karaoke, and I just don't think it was needed.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good pick. And Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised to hear people low on Maxine, because I personally really enjoyed it. I've seen it for the first time maybe about a month ago, and that's the first I've seen of the trilogy. I just watched Pearl last week, which I do think is better. But for me, this is probably an unpopular opinion. Maybe for me, it's Longlegs. I was really disappointed with that film. Just looking from the trailers and stuff, I was expecting like Seven and I can't believe that's losing my mind there. Silence of the Lambs. But it really wasn't that when I went into it. By the end of the film, I just came out of the cinema really deflated and, yeah, ultimately disappointed. Not a terrible film, but Nicolas Cage, I just laughed my head off whenever he'd done his stuff, done his thing. I just couldn't take him serious. Possibly unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people did like it. But, yeah, definitely Longlegs for me.
Yeah, and I can get that, Ryan, as well. And I wasn't a huge fan either. Like me and you, I think, we're kind of in that small minority camp, to be fair. But yeah, like it's a great question as well. It's cool to hear everyone's different opinions. So it seems like we've all got a different movie as well, which is quite cool. Even if we can agree on a few of them as well. We've got Mac Chat saying, "Is this lads? So how are you?" So hey, Mac Chat, hope you're doing well, man. And we've got Harry as well from Mr. Movie Madness saying, "Hi guys, hey Harry, what's going on, man?" He says, "I've seen a film last year on streaming, and I watched Better Man and Bob Dylan biopic film. I think they are better. Than Megalopolis, and I'm looking forward to The Werewolf from Robert Eggers." Oh, sweet man, yeah. Complete Unknown, that got a few Oscar nominations as well today. I haven't caught that one yet. Has anyone else seen a Better Man?
I haven't seen it yet.
Batman, Complete Unknown. I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah, I caught up with it earlier this week, but I seem to be the unpopular opinion, although that might just be where I'm a bit fed up with biopics. They seem to come out every other month. Somebody else has got one, and it's like, oh, let's do this same old routine again. But I will admit, Complete Unknown was one of the better ones that I've seen. I didn't find myself rolling my eyes or falling asleep. I really liked the first half in particular because they really go through some of the history of the music and how difficult it was to release a song because the government would ban it because of certain lyrics potentially being offensive or troublesome or invoking violence, even though they're some of the wishy-washiest songs you could imagine. It's like, let's hold hands and dance together. But so it was quite interesting in that regard. But the second half, when it is Dylan is famous and huge now, and yeah, everybody knows this one, that's when I started to get a little bit bored with it and started to think, okay, we're just doing the biopic thing now. So, but I got a lot of comments. All of them were really respectful, I must admit, which was really nice. But a lot of people said that I was wrong. They loved it. They thought it was brilliant. It's worthy of the nominations. So I might have to eat my words on that one. It might be me that's wrong. Everyone else seems to love it. I thought it was just good at best.
That's interesting to hear your take, though, Elliot, as well on that, and the fact that a lot of people are disagreeing and saying it deserves the nominations.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of popular buzz at the moment. Yeah. But yes, it was nice that everyone was really respectful as well. There was no name calling or anything like that. So that was quite refreshing. Because when I did Hellboy, it was not like that at all.
We all have a couple of reviews where people just go a little bit overboard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It happens all the time as well. Yeah. But they never pick out like stuff you say in your review. It's always like other stuff.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The big one on my channel was actually it was less to do with the review itself and more due to the title of the video. It's my review for Prey, the Predator prequel.
Oh, yeah.
It was back when I was doing. There were quite a few like movies I had done because I was just kind of experimenting on my channel with different kinds of like way to structure reviews, and there were a lot of like I'd done some comparisons of like originals and remakes and stuff, and I would title those like, is this better than this, basically. So I did, is Prey better than Predator? And my answer was no in the video. I was like, I like Prey, but it's no Predator. And people were so mad that I even titled the video that. Like,
wow. That's insane.
They do. They do like to jump to conclusions, but not on this occasion. It was quite a pleasant exchange.
It's like on my Hellboy review. Someone just started it like "you loser" with like 4 exclamation marks, and going into like a 2-page rant. And it's like I'm really jealous of that person because it's like, how have you got that much time on your hands to do?
They visited your channel as well, did they, Ryan?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
In my experience, they're a lovely bunch.
Oh, yeah. You sometimes wonder how much time they got on their hands as well. I had a comment the other day where they like start attacking, like I was typing back to them and started like attacking like my backgrounds. And it was like saying, look at you and your background and your cheap kitchen setup. I was like, kitchen. I was like, kitchen setup. I was like, what? This man screams a kitchen. Yeah, just to those comments, they make you laugh. They're so stupid. But we're going to quickly wrap up here before we get the next guest on. So first, I do want to thank Anthony, who did leave just a little bit ago. I want to thank Jackson, Elliot, Pete, and Ryan. I'm going to take around my guests one at a time. Start with Jackson. If you just want to plug your channel and anything you got coming up.
Yeah, so channel's Horsetooth Cinema. You can subscribe there. I think the link's down below. I think the next thing I have coming up is so I mentioned I'll probably be seeing Wolfman tomorrow. I think I'll review that. And then just kind of other new releases. I've been doing some live streams on there. I haven't actually confirmed this, but Leon and I wanted to do a video, a live stream on like the top 10 first time watches that we did. So like not movies that came out this year, but just like what. And we did that last year as well, and it ended up going really well. So we might do that this weekend. I just need to double check with him.
Nice. If you do, man, I'll be checking that one out as well. I love the first time watches that's not out from that year as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice, man. Well, Jackson's link is down below in the description box. So is all my other guests as well. That's all in there. So please go subscribe. And Elliot, what about you? What have you got coming up?
So my channel, as you can see, is IMO Reviews, where we discuss all things movies, TV, video games, and such. It's a bit quiet at the cinema at this time of year in January. There are things like The Wolfman that I'm probably going to get to. I'm not sure how available Presence is over our way, but I'm hoping to check that one out. I've heard quite good things, so they will start piling up. But yeah, at the moment, there's a bit of freedom and variety in what I can do. So I've recently checked out Spirited Away from Studio Ghibli. Sorry. We also recently did 6 hidden gem movies that I personally love and think deserve more love than they currently get. And I'm still working on a Blood Meridian video, which I've been working on since November now. So I really need to get on with that one. We're 18 pages deep. It's going to be a pretty big video. And I'm not near done yet. There's still quite a bit to go. But while I've got the time off work, I'm really just putting the blinkers on and typing away and getting that done. So I'm hoping that won't be much longer till that's up. So yeah, there's quite a lot happening on the channel, but it's all a bit unorganized and chaotic at the minute. But bear with me, and there will be some videos out soon.
I got Blood Meridian for Christmas, like the book. I really need to get around to that at a certain point.
I'd love to talk to you about it. It blew my mind open. It was what an experience. But yeah, I won't spoil anything for you.
I look forward to that review, especially if you're 18 pages so far on it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I was going to keep it under control, and it very quickly got out of hand.
Man, I look forward to it, Elliot. I really, really do. And you got some awesome stuff as well as Jackson. And Ryan, how about you?
Yes, there were some movie reviews, as I was saying, The Brutalist, Flight Risk, and Presence. Although I'll be getting done movie reviews hopefully some point this weekend. I am doing more like short, just a little bit more feasible at the moment to get out. And yeah, I quite enjoy putting quizzes together. I love a good quiz. So if you do yourself, by all means, come along, check them out, test your movie knowledge. There's one coming hopefully Monday. And yes, a bit of a weird turn. I've just randomly gotten into magic, so I might possibly do videos around like movie related magic things. So that's a bit up in the air, but yeah, that's what to kind of expect, I would say, at the moment.
Oh, cool, man. Well, I look forward to seeing that. And because the first quiz you did was really, really good, so I'll definitely take part in the second one as well. Nice stuff, man. Yeah, look forward to it. And Pete, how about you? Because I know you put out a video for like the Nintendo Switch 2. I know you did like a Nintendo Switch haul as well. What have you got coming up?
Well, the videos have been a bit sporadic lately, but I've got a video coming out on Monday of me reviewing some Russ Meyer films. That was very eye-opening.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, in 4K no less as well.
Okay.
Wait, so did you watch like Faster Pussycat in 4K?
No, it was Vixens, Super Vixens, and Beyond the Valley of the Super Vixens.
Okay, because a lot of his films have really terrible physical media releases because his estate don't want them out or something. It's stupid, but I was like, wow.
Yeah, they're very nice releases and very eye-opening films. I weren't expecting that. Got a couple of video game reviews coming out and another Switch or probably a Blu-ray and a PlayStation haul as well, and hoping to get the streams back up and running again. Probably do one every few weeks or so. But yeah, few stuff coming on the channel. And thanks ever so much for inviting me on, Mike. Really was a pleasure and great chatting to all you guys. And first time being on the stream with you, Ryan. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you as well, Pete. I'll have to check over to your channel as well. Look forward to it.
Same with you as well.
Yeah, and I appreciate all you guys being on as well. And Pete, you got some great stuff coming up as well. I've heard about Russ Meyer's films through another YouTube channel, so I've heard a lot about them. So I'll be interested to see a video. And yeah, as I say, all my guest links are down below in the description box. Please go subscribe to them, go show them some love. And thank you guys for joining me for the first hour and a half. Really, really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks
for having us, Mike. It's good to see you back.
Take it easy. Yeah, you too, guys.
Take care. Hit that like button as well.
Definitely. Take care, guys.
Hey, guys.
See ya. And then we've also got some new guests coming in for the final and half. First up, we've got Jamie Lee from in the front row.
Hello.
We've got Jason, we've got Rob, and we've got Patrick. How you doing, guys?
What's up? All right.
Hey.
And Jamie, first time returning in a long time.
I feel like it's been forever, hey.
Right.
I feel like I haven't watched movies for forever. When you invited me back on, I thought, oh my gosh, what did I even watch last year? Like, I did not have a very good year with being able to get to the cinema. But this year, my daughter's in grade 1 and my mum and I have made like a pact that at least once a month together, we're just going to go to the cinema and watch whatever's on. Even if it's not something that I think I would enjoy, just go out and do it. Because, yeah, I feel like last year I was really lacking. So
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, this is the year.
That's really cool. At least you get to spend a bit of time with your mom as well and check out a movie. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah, well, firstly, I just want to say all the links to my guest channels are down below in the description box, so please go show them some love and go subscribe. Rashad will be on very shortly as well, so we have got Rashad joining us as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, firstly, again, Patrick, Jimmy, Jason, and Rob, thanks for taking the time to join me. I really, really do appreciate it, and it's good to have you guys back on the channel.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I've almost forgotten how to do this.
Yeah, because Patrick, you've been on a bit of not a hiatus with streams and such, but just taking a break, right? Until I think next month.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back February. I'll be back February 3rd. February 3rd.
Nice.
Nice. So I look forward to your streams returning as well and seeing which guests and stuff you interview. And I know Jamie was doing some streams for a while, like on Fortnite and kind of Cobra Kai talks, which I couldn't join due to time differences and stuff.
I know. I hate the time differences. Yesterday, I planned for my mum to come over and look after my daughter, got everything ready. And I thought,
Right.
I might just jump on Mike's stream and see what other guests are going, And I looked on and it said 22 hours away. And I was like, oh, shit, it's tomorrow. It was a whole day early, but that's fine.
Did excitement and anticipation building, I guess, right?
That's what it was. I was so excited to be back that I got excited and prepared 24 hours earlier.
Right. No, I'd say it's great to have you back on as well, and definitely when Cobra Kai. And Rob, have you seen Cobra Kai?
No, actually, I've been trying to catch up on
Bro.
like the Neon box set and like so many different other screeners that I've got, even from like the Oscar nominee season. Like I'm still trying to catch up on all of those because there's been so much that's been like going on. But I'm excited though because I want to get back to catching Cobra Kai. So I mean, if you talk about spoilers, it's okay, whatever. We all get spoiled with things on the internet, so it's fine. I'll just cry. It's fine.
Oh, you'll cry. You'll definitely cry.
Oh, wait, what? No, I
Never
don't want to
mind.
cry.
Nah, we won't spoil.
No spoilers here, Rob. No spoilers,
Alright,
bro.
well,
Like
Rashad's not here yet, so who knows?
I was about to say, until Rashad comes.
yeah, his first sentence would be like, "Oh, Cobra Kai, this
Yes,
is what happened, Rob."
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Right,
well, great.
right. And Patrick, because I know, like, when you do your library hauls, have you managed to find any Cobra Kai box sets, or is it any show that
I
interests
have
you?
not. No, I have not run across any Cobra Kai box sets. I did pick up this month. I did pick up the second season of Reacher though, so I was pretty happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great show.
I really enjoyed season 1. I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Yeah, I guess season 3 comes out next month.
It does. It does.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I look forward to that.
And then I guess got word that a friend of ours, a friend of the show, actually he was one of my first guests, an author named Christopher Farnsworth, who wrote the President's Vampire series. He was selected to write a Robert Parker book, Robert B. Parker. So he got to write a Jesse Stone novel. So that was really exciting to see, and we'll be talking to him about that. I mean, Jesse Stone is a series. It was in the Spencer for Hires universe. I'm not sure if any of you guys know who Robert Parker is, but he wrote a immersive universe set in Boston about Spencer and Hawk, Jesse Stone, and Sonny Randall. But he passed away, and so his estate has had different writers come up there and take on the characters and write, keep furthering it along. And so very excited to see that Christopher got picked to write a Jesse Stone book. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to read it.
That's really cool, and it's
Yeah,
great
it's
to hear
really
that
cool.
they get that opportunity as well. That's really unique.
I was blown away, to tell you the truth, when he posted it on Instagram. I was like, oh wow, that's really, really cool, because he's been a great writer. I know a lot of people are here want to hear movies, but a lot of the movies and a lot of the stuff that I watch comes from people who I've read, and that's just why I'm a big Spencer fan and Jesse Stone and what have you. But it was really cool to see him be able to get picked up to and selected to write a novel.
Yeah, definitely, and massive congrats to him as well. I don't know who the guy is, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
But no, that's really cool.
I still can't believe you haven't watched The Lion King. I'm actually sitting over here trying to process that.
I know, I get the shake of it.
No comment.
I know.
I'm just going like, wow, I don't know anybody who has never seen The Lion King before. I'm like,
Yeah.
do I know anybody who hasn't seen it? And I'm going, no.
Nah,
You watched the remake, but didn't you, Mike?
I watched
The live
action
action-y
one first.
Oh,
live
okay.
action-y one.
Did you watch the live action one?
Interesting.
Yes.
What did you like better, the cartoon or the live action?
At the moment, I can't say because I watched the live action in cinemas like when it released,
Uh-huh.
and I don't remember. Like I'd need to go back and rewatch it now to see, like, right, which one do I actually prefer? But probably the animated one, because I wasn't huge on Mufasa, the sequel, to be honest. So,
Right.
yeah, I know there's probably no competition, to be fair. But it's, you know,
Yeah. One of Disney's better efforts.
right. I've got a few comments and questions here I want to ask. And one question from Jackson, I just want to start off with, which I think is quite interesting. He says a random question, but he says, outside of movie-related content, what kind of stuff do you watch on YouTube the most? And he watches fantasy basketball stuff. That's actually a really good question, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Rob, what about you, man? What do you watch outside of movie-related content?
On it, well, I guess I mean, outside of movie related stuff, I guess more just a lot of people don't really know that I used to do music with Anthony. So I used to perform with him in a band, and I play guitar and backup sang with him, and he would lead sing. So a lot of times I look up music and just like how various artists do certain things, either like take a heavy song and make an acoustic, or even like a rap hip hop song and incorporate electronic um, or rock with rap, and just looking up different segments of music and how blending certain music together can either make it or actually break it. Because if you try to mix too many things, sometimes, yeah. So I watch a lot of that, and I mean, I guess TV can be coupled in with movie stuff, but I do watch a lot of clips about like what if scenarios, especially with like DC Comics. Like I've been looking up more comic book related stuff, not just TV and movie, like actual comic book related stuff, specifically with like DC's new universe that they're doing, and a lot of newer things that I actually haven't been privy to, that I've been going through, like the new 52 series, and just looking up a bunch of different stuff on that, and finding out some more info from stuff that I've read before. But there's other issues that I didn't get to read, just because I couldn't at the time get them. So I've just been looking up a lot of that stuff, and especially relating to Invincible. And whew, boy, I'm yeah, it's just been it's nice to just look at that kind of stuff on YouTube, but mainly like the music and guitar stuff though.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I know a little bit about like the band Days You and Perez, because I know like he's talked to me a little bit about that before, and he's mentioned odd bits and snippets on his channel in the past as well. But that's really good, man. So do you still do anything music related?
Well, there's a series that I've been talking about doing for a while on YouTube, which I need to get a new guitar for, because yeah, but it's called like the one man band series. So it's like I'd be taking various songs and just because I played various things, and I've done it before, where I've spliced together different things, like me playing two different guitar parts, singing three different parts, and then there's a box called the cajon that you sit on and then you play, and it's like a drum, and then you can carry it places. So I would kind of do all the parts of the song and just kind of put it together and edit it in a way so it's like you have a full ensemble, but it's just me. It's just me in the whole
Nice.
video. So that obviously is going to take a lot of time and practice and editing and whatever. But that's something that this year I really want to get ahead on, because I love music, and music is something that everybody can kind of connect with for the most part. So doing that, and especially the times that we're in, I feel like it'd be pretty cool. So that's one thing. But every day I kind of do a little something, do some singing, making sure that the chops are still there, just making sure that nothing's gone salty and rusty or anything here. So, but yeah.
Nice, man. I would love to see that kind of video. I think that would be pretty good, because I know Jason has been doing a series on his channel. Jason sings, and he's been playing guitar and singing. So
I'll have to check that out. Hell yeah.
Nice. But Jamie, how about you? We'll jump over to you. So instead of movies kind of related stuff, what do you watch on YouTube? Do you tend to find?
I'm not gonna lie, most of my YouTube time is to watch my friends, because I do spend my free time, when I'm not like trying to catch up on the millions of TV shows and movies that people have recommended to watch. I just sit there on TikTok and I just scroll through and I watch people play like Xbox or Fortnite or all these video games. Like I just watch it. I'm like, oh, how much better are them than I? Or, like I just go through, how do I get to that glitch spot? Or like I look at tips and tricks for my gaming. So that's my downtime. I honestly, the time that I spend on YouTube, if it's not watching my friends, it's like, what is a red Hulk? Like I'm just trying to find the answer of what I need answered. And YouTube is the best for that, because it has the answers to absolutely everything. But I don't willingly sit here like it's a TV show or something and go, oh, I need to watch this person today. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's
No, and I think that's really interesting, especially like with the game. And yeah, like I've been playing Ratchet and Clank recently, and last night I was on YouTube being like Ratchet and Clank like hidden bolt location, and then I was
Yeah,
just
you just search for what you need.
yeah,
Hey, yeah,
right,
that's
right.
me.
I love that. What is a Red Hulk?
But you know what I mean? Dumb it down for me.
no, I get
Right.
it. Yeah.
Right, and especially with Captain America: Brave New World, there's going to be millions of explanation videos on what a Red Hulk is at this point. I'm guessing.
I know what it is now because I'm YouTube.
Right, right.
Just kidding.
No, that's pretty cool though. I like that. And Jason, how about yourself? Apart from movie-related stuff, like what do you tend to find and watch on YouTube?
Yeah, I watch, of course, a lot of music-related content because I'm really into music as well, and I talk a lot about music on my channel. So obviously, a lot of music reactions are fun, but a lot of, well, of course, Kansas City Chiefs football, KU basketball. Watch a lot of that. Watch a lot of political stuff. I'm really into politics, so I'm always interested in listening to people's thoughts on politics. And I would say some video games. I haven't, not lately, but sometimes I'll watch someone play a video game, and that's fun to watch. And then I love history, so I like watching people talk about history. So.
Oh, cool, man. So quite a wide variety, to be honest. There, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of all sorts. Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Cool, because I knew you were into your music as well, so I was like, you and Rob probably watching the same videos, probably.
Yeah.
and Patrick, how about you? What do you tend to find when you watch on YouTube?
Well, sometimes I'll send okay. So I'm over on Instagram a lot, and so I like sending cat videos to all my friends. I'm one of those.
Nice, nice.
We find really fun, real fun clips, and I got Larry the horror cat dad. I got him hooked on this pair of cats. The creator was very cool. He photoshopped his cat into another video of the other cat driving a car, and so they come out with different scenarios with the same music. It's as soon as you hear the music, you know what it is. So I got him hooked up with that. So we talk about Snickers and Louie a lot. I also do follow politics as well. Though it's hard to call it politics, but I watch that as well, and I also read a lot of military journals.
Nice.
Wow, nice. Nice. Yeah, I love the cat vids sending though. That's cool. Yeah, I find myself doing that as well.
I couldn't figure out. You know what it is? I don't know if you own a cat or not.
I've got two.
Oh, probably shouldn't have told me that. But
I'll be expecting a barrage of inboxes with cat videos later. Hey, I'll watch them all. But no, like I love, like, I think it's just a really great question, to be honest, because we all watch different stuff and it's quite interesting, like outside of supporting one another in a way, like what we're watching. Yeah, as for myself, very quickly, I watched like a few like wrestling videos. I'm big into like WWE. So wrestling, football. I'll watch like weekly football highlights, and I get the other thing I watch is like food eating videos, like people like these like competitive eaters and how quick they eat stuff. I'm just like, wow, how do you do that? You know,
you've got one in your family. What do you mean? How do you do that? Your brother literally does that.
Mike, have you ever heard of a show called Man vs. Food?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to binge that all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy actually lives in London actually now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really? Adam Rich? Oh,
Yeah, Adam Richmond. Yeah, he lives in London. So maybe
Wow.
one day if I'm ever in London, I might see him out somewhere. I'll take a photo instead.
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's quite interesting, to be fair. Oh, Scottish Geek, you guys are still at it. Yeah, we're here till about 11, man. So got a little bit of time if you got any questions.
I just started. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Right,
we just
exactly. You
started.
guys have just got on, right?
We're 15 minutes in. Woohoo!
So we've got a few questions, to be honest. I'm gonna throw one in here. Ryan, he says, what a beautiful cast of guests. He says, what's people's thoughts on Mel Gibson's sequel to Passion of the Christ? I'd be intrigued to hear Jason's take. I don't know much about this, to be honest. I've heard like little rumblings of what the sequel could be, but has
Yeah.
everyone seen the original Passion of the
Yeah.
Christ movie?
Numerous times, yes.
So, okay, Patrick, have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but that's
it,
by
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So Jamie, we'll start with you. What's your thoughts on the Passion of the Christ sequel? Is it something that you care about?
No, and I didn't even know there was one, to be honest. I think it'll be a very hot take because when I saw Passion of the Christ, it was a very long time ago, and the world's changed a lot since then, and we are very what's the word I'm trying to use? Very open to share our thoughts on things like religion and politics these days. So I don't think that it's going to be I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't think it'll be successful. I think it'll be very divisive, but anyway. And I'm not interested in watching it just because I've got other things to watch. But yeah, maybe other people might float their boat, but definitely not one for me.
I mean, I know it got like a controversial reception to start with when that released back when, right?
That's what I mean. And that was a long time ago, and the world's gotten worse since then. So yeah.
Yeah, but it was the biggest box office movie, I think, of that year. It made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a quick look. But Jason, what about you? What's your thoughts on this?
I had no idea there's a sequel. That's shocking.
Same.
That you're telling me that he's working on a sequel so long after it came out. And like, spoiler alert, Jesus dies in the first movie. I mean, what's the sequel? I don't understand.
Jesus comes back after 48. Oh.
So I'll tell you what I've heard. And this is kind of like rumblings of what it's going to be about. So just to kind of answer Jamie's kind of question in a way, I've just checked. So 2004 had a 30 million budget and it made 612 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of money.
Huge. Yeah.
So I've heard rumblings about the sequel where they're maybe focusing on Jesus after obviously dying in the first movie, his going down to hell and kind of, I don't know how they'd represent that. And then getting, back with the reincarnation. Guessing, I don't know. But I was like, the concept sounds intriguing, but do we need it? Probably not.
I think I'd rather see Jesus join Riggs and Murtaugh and doing another Lethal Weapon.
And it's equal.
See, Mel Gibson is Catholic. I'm not Catholic. That whole premise, that's a Catholic thing. I don't believe in any of that. So I would not see this movie just from a prospect.
Yeah, and as you said, Jason, it's one of those like different religions might be like, nah, I'm not going to go see that. Or they might go see it just to see the controversy and what it's about.
I thought it was really funny. The director of Jesus, the Passion of the Christ, turned out to be anti-Semitic. It's like Jesus was a Jew, yet you turn around and was, talking trash about the people. I mean, how exactly? How are you a Christian again? I mean, could you explain that?
I don't think any of them can, to be honest with you.
No,
that's how it goes nowadays. That's how it goes nowadays, unfortunately.
Rob, would you check out the sequel?
I mean, so I went and saw it in theaters when it first came out with my mom, and obviously, like, I grew up I grew up in a Pentecostal environment, but nowadays I kind of just I'm more of the mind that, you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe, as long as we can just have a cohesive and coherent conversation, then I don't see any issue, as long as we're on equal playing field, that, we can agree to disagree, whatever the case is. Like, I believe certain aspects of what happened in the film, and when it came out, as you said, it had over $600 million made. So many people saw it. Some people saw it and were criminals, and they became reformed. Apparently, like, that was in the news a lot. That so many people, went in there. And I think there was a report about a guy who, like, either committed a murder or robbed somewhere or something, and then he, like, came into the theater, and then he came out and turned himself in or something. So I mean, obviously, it's a moving film, and it's very divisive, which is also why it's going to create a ruckus with this sequel. Personally, I kind of agree with everybody. I don't think that we need one, especially if the premise is true, like you said, of him going down to hell. Like, I mean, okay, this isn't Dante's Inferno, you know what I mean? Like, this is Jesus. So it's like, why are we doing this whole taking him down to hell? Like, are we trying to portray one part of Christianity or Catholicism or whatever the case is? Are we trying to portray what they believe, as in what happens to you personally when you die? Like, does that happen that you first go down there? and you try into the trials down there, and then you can possibly get that. I don't know. Like I just don't see the need for a sequel, and I don't foresee that it will add to the success of the first film. I don't think that this would be a good follow up because one of the divisive period. Well, we're always in a divisive period, but I think you all know what I mean. Like now, it's just a little bit more divisive than it's been before, and two, it's just going to be more of like as Jamie said, like a hot take kind of thing. Like people are just mainly going to go see it just for the let's try and crap on it, or let's try and do this instead of like seeing it for what it was, which is what people went to go do back in the day. So I don't personally. I'm probably gonna wait a while and see what the buzz is. You know, I knew there was a sequel, but I had no idea what it was gonna be about, like what the idea was. So I'm just gonna kind of wait and see. But personally, I don't think it's gonna work. It's probably gonna be a little bit successful, but I don't think it's gonna work as well as the first one even came close to doing.
Yeah.
Nah.
I turn on the TV sometimes, and what I see on TV is hell. So I don't really need to see a movie like that's depicting hell.
And that's a hot take that somebody might have too. It's like, like we already see hell every day. So it's like, why do we need to have?
Why do we need to watch a movie? Yeah,
right.
And I just can't picture them like putting a devil on screen, or I don't know. I just can't see how that would realistically. I don't know.
Well, they did it like kind of somewhat well for the time in the Passion of the Christ when there were like certain things going on in the film. They did a pretty decent job at showcasing the like demonic kids or whatever the case is. So they could probably do a decent job like aesthetically, but again, as we've said, what's the point? Like, I'm sorry, like Jason said it, he's like, spoiler alert, Jesus dies. Like, yeah, okay, so Jesus dies and he's coming back. So what are we going to hell for? Like, I don't there's no need for it. It's probably, it seems more a little bit like a money grab at this point. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to insult, but it could just be kind of a money grab thing. Like, I don't know.
Well, maybe Jesus comes back and teams up with Mel. It's the Road Warriors go to hell or something.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be intrigued. I think like all you guys make a great point, and I think it's one of those where it's going to be controversial. It's like, is it really needed after what we're like 21 years later after this original movie? Do we need a sequel after all this time? Like, if there was a sequel, why not make it at the time when that movie was a huge success?
Yep.
I really don't know, because I've heard they're bringing back Jim Caviezel, but they'll use some CG to make him look like he did. Yeah, right.
Interesting.
It'll be interesting, yeah.
Well,
We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Who knows? But moving on to a bit of a lighter subject, Elliot says, what are some of your most anticipated films and shows for 2025? Yeah, great question. I think for us three at the top panel, I think Cobra Kai final part hitting next month.
Yeah. Yep. I just did a video on this the other day. Cobra Kai and The Last of Us season 2, because The Last of Us, for me, that I did not find a fault in any of the episodes that we got. I loved every single episode, so I'm really excited to see that come back. I really like the new cast that they're adding to it, so I'm excited to see new people join the cast. Yeah, that's my two shows.
Yeah, and The Last of Us season 1's really, really good as well.
Really good.
So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to season 2 as well. Because I've never really played the games, but Emma has, so she obviously knows what happens. I know what's coming because spoilers and stuff, But
yeah.
I'm intrigued to see where they go with it though, and if they extend out with season 2 will be in 2 parts, or they make like a season 3, because I've heard they're going to adapt another another series, but onto like the next game they're going to make. So I don't know which direction they're going to go with that.
Well, don't forget the Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio stand-up.
Yeah. Karate Kid Legends. I can't remember.
I kept calling it Legacy for some reason. I was like, I don't know where I've got Legacy from. It's definitely not Legacy.
That works.
It sounds legit, but it's not right. But yeah, that's exciting too.
Right, Karate Kid Legends. Okay.
Legends.
There we go.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that would be an interesting movie, for sure. I'd be curious to see how they end Cobra Kai and maybe lead into that, or they don't lead into it. I don't know. But yeah, Jason, how about you? What's your most anticipated movies or shows for this year?
Well, definitely Mission Impossible Last Reckoning is my favorite movie. I don't know if maybe it's Mike I was talking to you about. I've seen every movie in the movie theater, and I'm a big fan of the series. So that's always my number one. Anytime that a Mission Impossible comes out, it's like that's my most anticipated every year. Then I'm looking forward to seeing Zootopia 2. I think that comes out later in the year, but love Zootopia. One of my favorite animation movies. I'm trying to think. What else was coming? I'm forgetting on top of my mind. I mean, Superman, I'm kind of interested in seeing what DC needs a hit. So I'm kind of interested if they can finally get a hit out of this. So if they can't, James Gunn is going to be in trouble. But they have not hit lately. Superhero movies have not hit lately. So I'm kind of curious about the superhero movies. See if we can get some kind of trend upward on superhero movies for once. All that. There's something else I'm not thinking on top of my mind. But TV shows, of course, Cobra Kai, obviously. Yeah, really excited to see what happens there, especially after the cliffhanger. It's really good cliffhanger. So really have no idea what's going to happen there. Reacher, I love Reacher. That's one of my favorite shows. So if there's another season, I'm excited. Is Stranger Things coming out this year?
Yeah, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
That's gonna
excited.
be huge.
See what happens there with Stranger Things. So yeah, those are probably the big ones on TV.
Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Stranger Things is like a 2-part kind of release as well.
Yeah.
3 parts even. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Especially the last season was like 1.5 hours per episode.
Yeah, they're pretty long.
Yeah. And Rob, how about yourself? What are you looking forward to this year?
Obviously we know when it comes to Robbie, what is his like number one favorite thing besides anime? DC. I am really, really looking forward to the Superman movie. And hear me out when I say this. It's not because I am thinking or wanting that it's gonna be the best DC movie ever. It's not that. It's because I'm sick of hearing all of these like Henry Cavill stands, which I love him too. Don't get me wrong, I loved him as Superman, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like he is no longer Superman, and I hate it too. I do. And maybe, just maybe, he can make a. Even though DC kind of said screw him, he can maybe make a cameo or something as an alternate unit. I don't know. But let's give this guy David Cornsweet a chance. That trailer had me hyped. It made me feel so good watching that. It made me feel like a kid again, like watching like Christopher Reeve, growing up, and just seeing Smallville when I was younger too. Like it just, I don't know, there was just something about the trailer that really did, I hate to say it, did give me a little bit of hope. And that's one of my anticipated films for the year because I feel like it will be good. Yes, there's a lot going on in it, but I don't know. I feel like with James Gunn writing it, at least, God, I just hope that it will be a really good film to just kind of reboot the love for DC and the anticipation for DC and superhero movies in general. Because even the Marvel movies are kind of taking a little bit of a tank. Not much, but enough to be like, what are we doing? As far as TV shows, June 6th, Invincible comes back, and your boy's hyped. It's so hyped. I cannot wait for Invincible to come back. Oh man, that and Squid Game, because I don't know if anybody else here watched Squid Games, but
yeah,
dude, the cliffhanger, it wasn't needed. Okay, like you guys, like my girlfriend and I, we were just like, you got to be kidding me. There's no way, and of course it was. So I'm excited for that too. And we said Stranger Things. Is there anything a Game of Thrones? I feel like they pushed it back. Game of Thrones. I feel like House of the Dragon, another season was supposed to come out this year.
Oh,
But
maybe.
I feel like I can't remember. I feel like it was supposed to be pushed back. But anyway, and well, I'll just something else. The anime, like Black Clover and One Piece coming back. I mean, oh God, I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. We're good. Yeah, my main film, honestly, like I know there's others, but my main film is Superman, solely for the fact that I love DC and DC can be on the playing field as Marvel is. They could if they just did it the right way, and they haven't for years. So they are uber behind. But I'm hoping that that'll reinvigorate something for just DC fans, superhero fans, movie fans in general. I'm hoping so.
Yeah,
About a
right.
year or so ago, we did a live stream, my friend Tyrone and I, and it was me just trash talking the fact that it's not going to be Henry Cavill. Nobody can live up to his standards. I don't want a reboot of, Superman's origin. And I was giving it shit because honestly, I was over it. I was like, I want to see some Batman. I want to see some Nightwing. I want to see more of what we haven't seen, not more Superman. And then that trailer came out and I was like, holy fucking shit, I am eating my words. Because as you said, it was amazing. And I loved that when he was Superman, he looked incredible. Like you can't fault that he is Superman. But when he was Clark as well, and he's bustling through the city, he didn't look like Superman. And I was like, wow, he actually looks like, he's in disguise. He looks like he's just a regular human. So yeah, I was just really amazed at his range, I guess you could call it. In what, a 2-minute trailer alone, let alone the movie. So I took back what I said and I thought to myself, again, what you said, Rob, like give this person a chance. You can't always just have somebody as that person. Like with Wolverine, for example, like if the right person was picked, I know that I would give them a chance. It's just that I love Hugh Jackman. Do you know what I mean? Like you just can't, it's to have that sort of separation and to be open-minded about that. If you're just like, no, nobody can live up to the hype, you're just at fault because I'm looking at it now and thinking, wow, what a mistake I made. I hope nobody finds my old videos because I was an idiot. Like I had my eyes blinded because I'm like, Henry Cavill. And that's a stupid way to be when, if you give other people a chance, like they can really surprise you. So gotta be more open-minded about things. And I learned that the hard way.
No, I agree, especially like the Witcher thing. Like, I mean, I don't know how many, does anybody here watch The Witcher?
No.
Witcher was badass.
The Witcher is awesome.
Yeah, Harry Cavill's badass on that.
And I can't, what's up, Rashad?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Hey.
I just can't, I can't foresee Liam Hemsworth replacing Henry Cavill and doing a job like he can, especially we're, 4 seasons in now? Like, in this case, I'm like, I don't think the person they chose is going to live up, but I am going to give it a chance still. But to replace Henry Cavill now as the Witcher, he is the Witcher. Like, yeah, he's Superman. No, he is Geralt of Rivia. He is. So it's like, I don't know what to say in regards to that one.
So you have to give Superman one thing. And this is what makes it really tragic, is that everybody they've gotten as Superman has been freaking outstanding. Christopher Reeve, Brandon Routh, Tom Welling. I got to throw him in there. Henry Cavill. They've just been outstanding. Hell, you can go back to George Reeves, and he was great, as Superman. It's just the writing around him has really struggled. I really, really felt bad for Brandon Routh. He deserved better than what he got.
He did. I agree.
And so did Harry Cavill. Harry Cavill, they fired him. Then they brought him back. Oh, by the way, we want you to do this little thing with Black Adam. He goes ahead and suits up and comes back there saying, yeah, we changed our mind. We want you to come back and do the thing with Black Adam. He comes back and does that. Then they tell him again he's hooked. And as far as James Gunn goes, I have zero faith in him. I have zero faith. I've seen what he did with the Guardians, and I have zero faith. I just don't think. I think he's gonna screw it up somehow. He screwed up the Guardians. He screwed that up royally, and it's just like I think his ego gets in the way of his pen. I think his ego is he wants to be more about the movie than the movie does. So but I as far as the superhero goes, I found myself really curious about Thunderbolts.
Very good.
Okay.
Even though that's not the right Thunderbolts team, it's the same thing as the Guardians of the Galaxy. They brought in the wrong people to play the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, original Thunderbolt team, wicked. That whole story is wicked. But they're not going to do that. They're going to come out with their half-handed and heavy-handed version of it, and who knows how it's going to be. But I have faith.
I mean, let's hope, because the trailer was pretty good for the Thunderbolts one. So I was
Yeah.
And by the way, hey Rashad, how you doing, man?
Well, I'm in a different position right now because I kind of fucked my back up, so I'm actually laying down now. I got some Tiger Balm on my damn back. So, what you laughing for?
I'm laughing with you, even though you're not.
Nah, y'all laughing at me, man. It ain't funny. Wait till y'all keep living. Keep living.
How'd you mess up your back, bro?
Sweeping.
And you don't like, oh god.
I was sweeping my floor. I was jamming to some music, man. I fucked around and turned the wrong way, and my back said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What?" And my back said, "Okay, you didn't hear me. Okay, now I'm gonna have to show you," and put me down. Yep.
Man.
So yeah, I had to go to the store and get some Tiger Balm. Like I'm walking like sideways and shit, and I was just sweeping the floor, man.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing you like pirouetting around a broom now, just dancing away.
Okay. Have any of you ever seen the movie Breaking? You know, with Turbo and Ozone. You ever see the movie Breaking? Any of y'all?
No.
Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, okay. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, remember the scene where Turbo was dancing in front of the store with the broom? And he was break dancing. That was me. Yeah, and I zigged when I should have zagged, and my back said "fuck it," and here I am now.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Bad back and all, joining the stream.
I'll be all right, man.
Sweet. It's a crack.
Y'all, I'm dead. That's wow. Y'all laughing my pain, man.
We're laughing with you. We're laughing with you.
Yeah,
we're sympathizing with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate. At least you know what breaking is, man. So I appreciate you. You cool in my book. Yeah.
Canon Films. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, and before you ask Rashad about what he's looking forward to this year, I just want to throw in mine real quick, Mike, and that'll be Virginia Woolf's Night and Day. That's what I'm.
Okay. Can't say I've heard of that one, Patrick. Though, when's that due to come out?
I think it's gonna probably come out in the fall 2025. But it's Haley Bennett's brand new movie, and I've seen pictures of it behind. It looks utterly spectacular. The costuming is just, it's lights out.
Nice.
The English, you guys know how to do period pieces. There's nobody better than nobody better than Brits when it comes down to doing period pieces. It's just, it looks beautiful.
And I've just looked up that movie as well, Patrick. And yeah, I like Haley Bennett. I like the movie Swallow. That's definitely a weird movie for sure.
Swallow?
Yeah.
The movie's called Swallow?
Yeah.
It's basically Rashad. She's got this addiction to swallowing a lot of different objects.
Yeah,
Let's just say there's some weird stuff. There's some weird stuff, Rashad.
There's some weird stuff. Swallowing.
I feel like he's in.
Yeah. Listen, there's been some interesting titles over the years for movies. We had movies like Pecker and Swallow, and
The Substance.
The Substance. Okay.
Breaking.
Hung. Wasn't that movie called Hung with David Fassbender? Right. What? Oh no! I think it was called Shame. Was it Shame? Wasn't Hung?
Yeah.
It was something like that, right?
Hung was with Thomas Jane.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
definitely a lot of weird movies, Rashad. One Pan Man as well, just in there. Throw Pan Man out there. Spaghetti Man. Throw that one out there.
Oh well, how about the one that got 10 Oscar nominations? I'm sorry, man, I have to bring this movie up. Amelia Perez. What the fuck?
They love it.
Like 9 or 10 Oscar nominated. Dog, Rob was there. I was sitting right next to Rob. That was the biggest piece of horse shit I've ever seen in my life.
I'm so sorry. I fully, hear. Oh, God. All right. I will say this and only this.
Okay.
What the hell? What were we doing? Why did we decide to do it? Why did we do it that way? And why couldn't we have directed this even 57.56% better? Like, I just don't understand why they chose the avenues. And you want to incorporate music and dancing and hoo-ha, hee-ha, whatever in a movie, great. But it it just didn't really work for me. And you said 9 out of 10. Who? Why? That doesn't mean no. I'm sorry. Like it just.
I don't know what people saw. I mean, I guess I was the only one that was kind of vocal about it because they said I was speaking out loud. I think I only spoke out loud probably once or twice, but I was talking real low. I whispered, right?
Yeah, you whispered mainly to me, and I mean to be fair, I will say you didn't really talk that loud at all. To be honest with you.
Yeah, like they act like I was in full like, hey man, this movie's trash, man. Nobody want to see this shit. I wasn't doing none of that. Yeah, I wasn't
the
doing
performances. I will say this, and then we can, not to take up too much time, but the performances were like individually were actually pretty solid. You know what I mean? Like the performances were good for what they were given. It's just I feel like a case in point, Selena Gomez. Like she could have done so much more and so much better. But it just seemed like the direction behind a lot of people just made no sense. Even Zoe Saldana, Zoe Saldana, in my opinion, was probably one of the best people in that movie. And there were times that I was sitting there like, my girl, what you doing? Like, why?
Yeah, like,
why
what are you doing in this movie? Yeah.
Like, what are you doing in this movie? And for the people that it's for, I hope that it made them, that they loved it. I hope that they loved it and it represented well or whatever. But I just don't think that it deserved all the Oscar nominations. That's it,
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it has an audience. Listen, I always say whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your Twinkie, go for it. But it didn't do it for me, man. I thought it was trash. Now Selena Gomez looked good now. Selena Gomez, I thought she was the best part of the movie. You know what I'm saying? she was squishy looking. But,
yeah. Jesus Christ.
I heard.
Oh, Rashad.
Yeah, she was squishy looking, man.
You know what?
She looked like a whole snack.
Finer than frog hair.
Sweeter than bear meat, Rob. You know what time it is, bro.
Twice on Sunday.
Twice on Sunday, boy. Look here. Yes, sir.
Oh my God, bro.
But I digress. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with Horsetooth Cinema.
Yeah,
I don't know one single person. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it because it's got all these Oscar nominations and give my take on it. But
Mike, as soon as you're done, hit me up when you're done watching that movie, man. Hit me up because I have to hear what you guys say about that.
Cinematically, it's like made really well, right? Like you, as critics of movie, TV, and everything, you can appreciate the artistry. Like the artistry of the film, for the most part, was pretty good. Some of the transitions, the way how they did a few musical numbers, even though they were off key sometimes to me, and I don't know what they were doing, but the artistry is kind of what got me sometimes. But
that comment sums it up perfectly. Yeah, reminded me a lot of Crash on. Yeah, it was. What's the word where that it's more they think they're more smarter than what you are. What's the word? Pretentious or whatever, right?
Pretentious, yeah.
Very, very pretentious. Like it was trying to say something, like it had a message in there, but the execution was all wrong. Like it came across preachy at times. It came across like but it didn't stick anything really. It just was it was a nothing burger.
I like that. Pretentious and preachy. I like that.
Nothing burger. Just
nothing
2
burger.
bits of bread with no burger.
It was a nothing burger, but you just bit into it. You taste the bread and the pickles and the lettuce and shit, but ain't no where's the damn meat? Where's the beef? Fuck
Richard, I always love your analogies, man. They're always great. There's a way to sum up movies.
Yeah.
Man. And Rashad, what about you? I'm going to go back to this question as well, by the way. What are your most anticipated movies and shows for the year?
Most anticipated movies. Well, of course, even though I wasn't blown away by the trailer, but Superman, I really want to see that because I just have a soft spot in my heart for the character of Superman. Like that was my first superhero that I seen growing up. You know what I mean? So definitely that. The Michael B. Jordan vampire movie. That's directed by
Sinners.
Ryan Coogler. Sinners, yeah, I really want to see that one. Yeah. And basically just every horror, like I'm a big horror fan, and like for the past few years now, I think horror movies have been really on point. You know what I mean? So anything horror related, man, I'm down for. So that's about it. Oh, and Avatar. I'm looking forward to Avatar at the end of the year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Avatar. That'll be interesting.
I forgot about. Oh, wow.
Yeah, December. Yep.
Yeah.
Which one is this one again? Because there was Way of the Water, and what's this one?
This one's Fire and Ash.
Fire and Ash. Ooh,
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be really good.
Yeah, they've announced it's going to be like 3 hours and 12 minutes long.
I mean, I would expect nothing less. I mean,
Those Avatar movies fly by. They fly.
easily.
Right.
Yeah, James Cameron hasn't put out a movie less than 2 hours since I think the first Terminator.
Yeah.
Was the first
All
one
those
less
years
than
ago.
Yeah, the first Terminator was like an hour and like 49 minutes, but everything
Yeah,
after
right.
that's been like over 2 hours.
3 hours, I feel.
Yeah, 3 hours. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Same thing with Scorsese. I don't think Scorsese can make a movie
No.
under 3 hours.
Nah. I think Raging Bull is probably either Raging Bull or Taxi Driver was probably the shortest movie. I think. Yeah.
And well,
Speaking
Rashad.
of-
Oh,
sorry.
Jamie. No, go on, Jamie.
While we're on the topic of Terminator, Linda, is it Hamilton?
Yeah.
Terminator girl?
Sarah
She's
Connor.
going to be in Stranger Things. Yeah, she's going to be in
Oh.
Stranger Things.
Okay.
I thought that was
Sweet.
really good. There's going to be 3 new cast
Interesting.
members, and 4, and she was one of them. I was like, wow, that's a big name, because the others were sort of lesser known, but yeah, she was a big name. I thought that was huge.
Also, Stranger Things drops this year. The new
Yeah,
season?
Yeah.
this year,
Ah,
November.
nice.
I thought that was really cool.
So this is the last season, right?
I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
the finale.
Damn, it's gonna be bittersweet because Cobra Kai's ending next
I
month. And
know.
then Stranger Things, man. Damn.
I'll get the tissues ready for both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. Gonna need them. And just very quickly, I'll answer this one. I'll be honest, I've only got one anticipated movie of this year. It leans into a segue with Rashad. I don't know how you're going to feel in this one, Rashad, but
Okay.
it's coming out on January 31st, at least here in the UK. It's a movie called Companion.
Oh, that came
from the
out last
makers of
night.
Barbarian.
The makers of Barbarian, my friend. I'm their
Yeah.
day one.
Barbarian.
I had a screener for that last night, Mike, and I couldn't go, but it's got
What?
Jack Quaid in it as well.
Mhm.
Hey, that's that one.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
The trailer
Yeah.
looks very
Ah,
intriguing.
interesting.
Yeah, the trailer looks very intriguing. Kind of like Barbarian. The trailer didn't give away too much, so I have no idea what this movie's about, but the visuals look frightening. So I'll be there opening day. You know, listen, even if you make a movie I don't like, I'll still give it a chance if the next movie looks interesting. You know, like I don't like your boy Eggers, but I'll watch his movies though, even though I'm not a fan of his. So I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there opening week, and I'm gonna check it out.
I'll be intrigued, Rashad. Yeah, that's my most anticipated movie for the whole year, to be honest. So I'm
Really,
really looking forward. Yeah. Man,
You-
I
you
love
know-
Barbarian so much.
You're not saying the bar high, are you, Mike?
No. No. No, I only had one anticipated movie last year. That was Joker 2. And then this year it's
Oh, God.
Companion.
And look how that turned out.
Oh,
God. We don't talk about Joker too.
So what will happen this year is if Companion sucks, I'll come home and rewatch Barbarian
oh
probably.
my god! And that hairy ass nipple.
That 4K hairy nipple. I'll take
Oh
a
my
photo for you,
God.
Rashad. I'll send it to you.
God. You
I
know
feel
what?
like every time we have a stream, this nipple is always mentioned. It always finds its way in.
Jamie, because it traumatized me. You know, like
I can see.
I'm messed up now because at first it was the hairy nipple, right? And then a year later with the substance with Demi Moore when she pukes the breast out, and it's like I have a hard time looking at boobs now because of that, man. Like I'm messed up.
Just watch it
Oh,
over again,
Jesus.
Rashad.
Just
You'll be
watching-
cured.
I haven't seen that one yet. That's on my list though. I gotta check that one out. I
Oh,
haven't
you've not seen
I
Nora?
haven't seen it, not yet.
No,
Oh,
but
man.
we actually we're going through that Neon box set, and we're actually going to watch that one soon.
Yeah,
we're watching
same here.
the end. We're watching the end, and my God, listen, I don't know if anybody's seen the end.
The end.
Oh man, I maybe I have to watch it through different eyes. I'm not feeling it, man. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not feeling. I love Tilda Swinton too. Don't get me wrong. I love Tilda Swinton, but
Yeah.
man, I'm just not feeling it. I don't know what it is about this movie. It's just not. It's not hitting for me.
With
Has anybody else here seen the end yet?
No, but I've seen the poster. Right, I know which one you're on about now. Okay.
Oh, it's a musical, like a doomsday musical. So like,
Oh,
but it's
Right.
It's I'm just gonna give you a little
Okay.
That's something from like I just don't know. I just don't
Rob's
know
ready
what
to
that
knock out
is.
some roundhouses.
I don't
think.
know.
I don't
Like
know what he's
I'm
doing.
telling you, it is. I'm gonna review it soon because we didn't even finish it. We had to turn it off. We were like, okay. That's enough for today. Like, like, you know me
Oh,
with
wow.
movies. Like I have to finish a movie, and I'm not really like that critical. Well, I'm critical, but like it just, I don't know, man. It just was not hitting. So I want to give that a shot. But I heard Anora is beautiful, like really really good. So I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Jason's remaining silent over there.
What's wrong, Jason?
Me and Mike, we didn't like that movie.
Anora.
Oh.
Oh man.
Yeah. The ending of that movie was just so out of left field.
Oh God.
Damn.
No.
Damn.
But you might like it. People like the movie.
Yeah,
so.
you guys will probably love it, you know. Well, Rob, I think you'll love it. Rashad, I'm not sure about you, my friend, but
What you trying to say, man? You trying to say I'm shallow, man?
I mean, there's good-looking women. I'll say that for the movie.
Yeah, I love watching good-looking women. What's wrong with you, Mike?
oh no, that part I think you'll absolutely love, Rashad.
Yeah. I mean, just because I introduced you to No Holds Barred doesn't mean I have bad taste in movies, man. Okay, I think I have a good eye when it comes to films. Don't do me like that.
Yeah, me and Rashad, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, we did a watch along of the movie No Holds Barred, starring Hulk Hogan.
Oh my gosh!
Oh jeez.
Yeah, which I'm still editing. I know I said I was gonna have it out last week, but man, those things are a bitch to edit. So, and I haven't really been having the time. So I'm about halfway done. So I'm aiming for either Saturday or Sunday. I should have that reaction video up. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to it, man. I'm
Yeah,
still waiting for...
you can do the reaction right here, right now for that movie.
Yeah.
Was that Hulk Hogan?
What you gonna do, brother?
Brother.
Hey, yo, I think you almost got it, man. Just put a bandana on your head, get the pork chop mustache.
Yeah. Right there, yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting to see Jamie Lee's Star Wars reaction videos. I think we've been waiting in the pipeline for those.
I feel like I got up to the car one. You know where they did the race?
The car.
Oh, you talking about the pod race?
Number four. How do you do it?
No, you're talking about the Phantom Menace, the pod race.
Phantom,
right?
that was it. Yeah, the pod race, which is not a car, but you know what I mean. That's how I refer to.
Lightning McQueen showing up.
Oh my God, Rob, it's okay, Rob, it's okay, man.
You can watch one with me, Rob, so that I can get different.
You just hurt Rob's feelings over there, yo.
I can see. But I did watch that one, the pod one.
You said you did or didn't finish it?
No, I did. No, we did. I've watched every one that we started. I watched, but I just haven't edited it. Like Rashad, when you do the live not live reaction. What did I call them? I think they were like first time watchers. Mm-hmm. When you do them, like I put the whole movie and I like chop up little bits so people can see like when I'm laughing at that. And it takes such a long time. Like it truly does. Yeah. It's like a 2-hour movie that you're editing. You know, you're cutting up little bits from it, then you got to match it to when you reacted to that part. It's a very time consuming thing. But I think if I want to do that sort of stuff in the future, I should just do a live stream like this and just say, oh, I'm looking at this scene and just like talk through what part you're up to, because it's so time consuming and I've missed out on a lot. Because as I said, I've watched that one and it's been probably a year since I've put any Star Wars stuff up. So it's like, holy shit. And then
Perez is gonna get you.
I know. And so much has come out since then. There was the animated thing. There's been a few other Star Wars ones. I can't pronounce. And then there was one last year, the A lady, and she's got the big.
Oh, the Acolyte.
That's the one. I haven't started any of that. So there's so much that I'm missing out on. But I just feel like if I started those things, I would be doing myself wrong. Like I think I should watch the original movies before I jump into all that sort of stuff, because it'll be too much, too overwhelming.
I just want to ask: did they release the second? Did they release the second season or series of The Mandalorian?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah. They already released it. Okay.
Yeah.
I watching clips of that on YouTube, I really like to see that one. That looks really badass.
It is. It's
Mhm.
beautiful.
What's the
Yeah.
next Star Wars project?
I guess they're gonna do
who
the
knows?
Mandalorian. The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Oh, I think the movie. I think it's the movie with the Mandalorian and Grogu. I think.
Oh, okay.
And Grogu.
That would be badass.
But
John Favreau directing?
Please.
I would think so. I hope so.
Favreau's directing.
I don't know.
I mean, I would hope.
That would.
This year, okay.
Yeah, that's what I think it's this year. You know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure. But to be fair, before that movie comes out, we'll probably get another 3 Star Wars series before then. So I don't blame you, Jimmy. Go back just to watch the movies, then maybe start something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, do yourself a favor too. I think to really get the full Star Wars experience after Episode 1 with the car races, watch the Clone Wars series. So I would watch the Clone Wars series and then watch Episode 2 and 3 because the Clone Wars fleshes everything out. Like for Anakin and Obi-Wan and everybody, like to me that just really enhanced the prequels.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend the Clone Wars.
I have a question about the Clone Wars. Does that include the Clone War include the Order 66 in the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So is Mace Windu still? See, I want to know if Mace Windu's still with us or not. They've never definitely said that if he's dead or not.
Yeah,
he's not.
He hasn't appeared again.
I didn't think he was either.
Yeah, no, he hasn't appeared again.
I never thought he was even in the first movie. I said I gotta see his body before he's
yeah. Well, actually, that's a good point you make. Yeah, so watch the Clone Wars, and then right before the last season, like watch Episode 3, and then watch the last season of the Clone Wars. Yeah, like because it does tie into it, but it does spoil kind of what happens in Episode 3. Yeah.
But you do connect with everything so much better, and there's so many side stories that make you like love these characters so much more. And love Star Wars so much more too.
Right, and I think also it kind of silences the criticisms about how Anakin, what happened with him and how it was so abrupt. Where the Clone Wars really fleshes that out and like really gives insight into why he did what he did. You know what I'm saying? So,
literally.
Yeah.
Okay, I wrote it down. It's a very divisive thing within the fan base too, I think, because when I first started watching it, people were saying, do you watch it in the order that it came out in cinemas or do you watch it in this order? So I think everybody's got their own sort of views on that as well. But yeah.
So I'll
take any tips.
Sorry? I think the only thing I'll say about the last one was I felt really bad for Hayden Christensen. Again, he's sort of like Brendan. He's sort of like the Brandon Routh of Star Wars. Is that he was great, but he got shackled with some seriously shitty writing.
Yeah,
and direction. I think you got there when you have George Lucas as a director, he's not going to bring out the best performance out of you.
George Lucas captured lightning in a bottle. He's a terrible writer, and he's not a good director.
Yeah,
nah.
Read what's on the page.
Yeah, it's right there. Do that.
Just do it fast. Whatever.
Yeah, faster. Yeah, faster and more intense.
Faster, more.
Yeah.
And Ryan, by the way, is talking about Star Wars very quickly. Ryan's asking, what's your thoughts on Ryan Gosling being cast in Star Wars?
As a Jedi?
I don't know what role he's being casted in, to be fair.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the role.
What if they separated from him, would they make him General Thrawn? I know they had Thrawn in the Mandalorian, but could they make him Thrawn?
I mean, it's saying here apparently to lead a Star Wars movie with Sean Levy directing. So I mean, it could work.
Yeah, I hated Thrawn's look in was it Ahsoka? I couldn't stand. I hated his look. It reminded me of, remember that Justice League movie that came out in the late '90s?
Oh,
it was supposed to be a pilot for the Justice. So remember how Martian Manhunter looked?
Yeah.
They had the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that.
That is first of all, a very good comparison.
David Ogden Stiers.
Yeah.
David Ogden Stiers. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I like Ryan Gosling as an actor. He's got good range, so I feel like no matter what role he's cast in, he's gonna do a good job as long as the direction's good. You know, like I feel like it doesn't really matter as long as the direction's good. I'm just curious as to what character he's gonna be. That's it. That's all I want to know because I didn't really even know he got cast in Star Wars. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm just curious as to who he's gonna play.
I can see
Surely
this
a
throne.
Jedi.
Hey, shit. Then we're good. I think he'll do a good job.
They need a dynamic bad guy.
True.
That's what they need. They really do. They need a really dynamic bad guy to make it go.
I'm telling you, Thrawn could be that guy. You know, if they get the right actor to play him, like there's another show called Rebels, and Rob, you know about Rebels.
Oh, Rebels is so
Thrawn
good.
was like the best. He was one of the best parts of that show. He was such a badass villain. So yeah, if they get the right guy to play him live action, I think it could work.
Yeah, no, Star Wars Rebels, Jamie. When you're done with like the movies and stuff, watch Rebels.
Rebels,
like
yeah.
Oh,
Straight after you've watched the movies, you watch that one, the Rebels.
I was. What is it? Episode? Well,
it's before.
You've already seen 4, 5, and 6, right? Because you watched it like 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I mean, once you're done with
yeah, so after Revenge of the Sith,
yeah, because I mean, technically you could watch it now, but since you're in the mode of watching them, just finish episode 3 and then watch it. It's like, oh man, it's just like I don't even want to say anything else. It's beautiful.
and it's not necessary, but if you absolutely want to, then you can check out the sequel trilogy. But I would never. I would never watch. I mean, aside from Force Awakens, I did like Force Awakens, and I did like Last Jedi, but just as a trilogy, nah. So to me, it ended. Return of the Jedi was the last Star Wars movie.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't mind the new trilogy. It has its issues, but I don't mind it.
Rob's only saying that because he lives with Perez.
No, I was about to say. He's gonna watch what he says.
We both talk about it. Like he loves them a little bit more than I do, but I don't even hate them. It's just I'm just more like, did we really need to put that in there? Does that even really make sense? When did this guy go shag somebody to make like it just doesn't make any sense. A lot of things, but I like it because it's Star Wars. So if it's Star Wars, I'm gonna have already a love for it. But I can easily say like the first of all, The Force Awakens was beautiful when that came when Star Wars came back. And when it came back and that came out and you saw the trailer, oh my god, that was beautiful. But then we get to the other 2 installments and it's kind of like, what were we doing? Like what?
We made the first trilogy.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. I really did like. I'm in the minority of people that did like The Last Jedi, because The Force Awakens was basically was New Hope redid. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good reintroduction. And then when Last Jedi came out, I said, okay, we're going in a different direction here. Rian Johnson's doing something completely different with Star Wars here. I'm on board for this. Yeah. And then Rise of Skywalker was Damage Control, where they just took everything that they set up in The Last Jedi and just said, we're doing something. Like, no, what are we doing? Yeah, I walked out mad, man. I walked out pissed. Man, I had my shoes off. I tell the story a million times, man. And that was my daughter's first Star Wars theatrical experience. This is supposed to be a special moment for father and daughter. And I took this to Star Wars, man. It was supposed to be special. And they ruined it. So at the very end, Jamie, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but at the very end, I put my shoes back on, and I'm walking out, and as I'm walking out, all right? So I'm muting the audio. This is all you see of me. and my daughter's right behind me like this, covering her head like, oh my god. Shame. She's like, Daddy, like, why you have to be so extra?
With no hold bar on that.
Oh yeah, yes. I wanted to Hulk up. Seriously, I wanted to rip the seat out and throw it at the screen. That's how mad I was. Freaking horses on a spaceship. Out of here.
What?
Yes.
The disrespect when he takes his shoes off. I took my shoes off.
Hey, listen, that's when you know I'm comfortable when the shoes come off, man. But I put it back on. I walked out mad. I was mad. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it pissed me off.
Shoes were off. The eggs were in the socks, or the chicken was in the socks.
Why you gotta keep bringing the egg in the sock? Why you bringing up all this shit?
when we smuggle food in the cinema, that's all I think about is, this is good, but what would Rashad have done with this?
You know what? I haven't done that in a while. I haven't smuggled food in a while. I think it's about time for me to do that again.
What's your favorite food to smuggle in?
I smuggled in. No, not the eggs. I smuggled in a hero sandwich from Walmart. It was a roast beef sandwich from Walmart, and I guess it had a very pungent smell because my cousin sitting next to me vowed never to go to the movies with me again, and she never did. Yeah. He was watching Avengers Endgame, and so I'm celebrating eating the stank ass sandwich, and my cousin's just having the worst time of her life. I ruined the Avengers for her. She'll never watch it again because of
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh God. Yeah.
Man, I always love that story, that Rashad. That's why I bring it up.
Oh yeah. Well, I've smuggled in sandwiches. I've smuggled in eggs. I've smuggled in McDonald's. A bunch of candy, Mike and Ike's. I smuggled
gummies?
Huh? No, you know the 99 coconuts, like the 99 grapes and coconut drinks, the 100 proof. Yeah, I smuggled those in.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was getting drunk while I was watching what's the first Prometheus?
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times, man. Good stuff. Good times. Don't judge me. Yeah, look, y'all gonna be doing the same shit. Watch, like, I wonder if I can get away with that. Jason,
I did it all the time. I did it all the time when I lived in a different, closer to a theater that me and my wife. I moved from my old house. My old house, I used to go like once a week. I used to go down there and do either McDonald's or Taco Bell, and then sneak it back in and walk through there. The thing about it was like it was really great is that those kids will never challenge you. Kids will never challenge you because you're an adult. And, you look at them mean, and they just wilt away. They're like, I should be asking you I'm smelling something here. I should be asking you about it, but you look like my dad, and I'm not going to question my dad.
Yeah, no, you know what? And Patrick, that's a good. They don't, because I smuggled in a bottle of water one time, but I had it like in the front of my pants, so it looked like something else. And the kid looked at me. And then she looked at my pants and looked at me and was like, whatever. And I'm just like, I'm just blessed.
Oh my Lord. Oh, so many things I want to say.
Did you look at her and go, break it?
No. She was a kid. She was like maybe 18, maybe. You know, she was old enough to be my daughter, but she noticed the extra bulge there. You know, so without saying a word, she just kind of looked. I just kind of said,
That's why
every time she sees you, she probably thinks, "Oh, it's that creepy guy again with the big dick."
It's the guy with the bulge.
Yeah, every time.
That's why that guy goes twice on Sunday.
Oh my God. Hey, but when she saw me again regular, she was like, "Well, damn, what happened to the bulge?" Look, it was cold that day.
It was cold that day.
Cold in the theater.
Oh,
man, they must have turned up the AC.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Yeah, so that's but to Patrick's point, yeah, they never challenge you, because I'm pretty sure she knew it wasn't what it was. You know, she probably knew it was a bottle of water, but she didn't say anything.
Nah, she was young, bro. She was probably nervous. Probably like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't
these
think
days, anyway. Well, I was just about to say that, Mike. Like, even these days in shopping centers, I know I'm getting a bit off track from movies, but like, I literally see teenagers these days stealing. Like, they'll literally, you can see them put things down their pants or their top or whatever, and nobody says anything, because I think we live in a world now where you're so fearful of, if you say anything, something will happen to you. Like, it's not your job to be security. Do you know what I mean? So they're probably young and just thinking like, all right, you want to watch a movie? Watch a movie. Like, I don't give a shit if you steal something.
Right.
It's scary days now.
Yeah,
But yeah.
It is, yeah.
Anyway, that took a deeper turn, but I'm just giving a reason as to why they probably don't speak out.
Yeah, no, you're right though.
Yeah.
I'd be intrigued if they did, though, to be honest. Like, what they'd say, because I know, Rashad, was it not long ago you took in like some Shack gummies?
Ooh, what?
You know, like the gummy sweets. That's like the Shaquille O'Neal head.
Oh yeah, the Shaq gummies. Yeah. What about them?
Yeah. Did you not sneak them into the cinema?
Hell no.
They're not that good. They're not worthy.
Nah, I would never. No, I wouldn't do that. Nah, like I said, I think I'm getting older now, so I don't smuggle stuff in anymore like I used to, because it's kind of it's undignified. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be more of an adult, but back in my day, yeah, I smuggled everything in that motherfucker. Yeah, back in the day, I did not care. Like the theater that I went to as a kid, like they used to bring in malt liquor and they used to smoke weed in the theater, and nobody batted an eye. Yeah, man, I saw a house party, the original house party at the theater. Man, it was like a party for real. Like all you smelled was St. Ives, and you smelled weed. You smelled McDonald's because there was McDonald's across the street. Like we had a good time, and nobody said shit. Yeah.
We all know, however, Rashad prefers the LeBron James house party movie.
Shit, only movie I ever walked out on, bro. Only movie in my life I've ever walked out on.
I'm glad I didn't go see it.
Oh God,
Me neither.
I didn't make it 30 minutes, man. I got up and I left.
30 minutes.
Is that the new Space Jam?
No, they did a house party remake about 2 years ago that LeBron James produced.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, it was like a remake of the original, and it was terrible.
And you walked out, man. I
walked out.
I can't remember the last movie I walked out on. I mean, or turned off early. No, I haven't done that in a while.
That says a lot. Yeah, I've seen some stinkers over the years. I've never walked out of a movie before.
He put his shoes back on and he stormed out of there.
I got out. Yeah, I would have walked out of the Northman, but I was too busy sleeping. Yeah, I took a long nap.
That wasn't very good. I thought that was supposed to be pretty good.
Maybe I gotta rewatch it again because I remember falling asleep a lot in that movie. Yeah.
Well, the very first movie I took my wife to was Armageddon. She fell asleep during that.
How you fall asleep on Armageddon?
Yeah,
No idea. I believe me. I'm sitting. You know what? I got asked that too. I got asked. People were going like they knew that she was sleeping, and I could hear. Someone's, how is she sleeping through all this? I'm like, I have no idea.
Wait, what did Rob say?
Well, I was going to get to those in a second.
Oh.
But Rob was saying here, as a former movie theater manager, we really didn't care if you smuggled food in. Just don't make a mess and don't do
your
gal.
galley
In the back row, we can see that.
That's funny.
Oh man, I think Perez told a story about that when he caught some kids doing some stuff they shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, I remember actually that story.
Remember that story? Yeah. Perez has some crazy stories, man. When he worked at the theater,
when he worked at the movie theater, yeah,
he did. Just very quickly, Rob said, Rashad, just very quickly, he says, "Have you seen Black Devil Doll? I got an idea for a collab if you haven't."
No, I haven't, but I'm up for the challenge. Black Devil Doll. That sounds like some possession shit.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty interesting.
I did want to ask a quick question. I'll quickly show this coming and I'll ask a question. House Party was a loved film here in Ireland with the young crowd.
Okay. It's about the OG or the remake?
With Max Chatz, I'm guessing he's talking about the OG.
No, I'm hoping.
I could be wrong, but I'm guessing it's the OG. I wanted to ask a question to Jamie, actually. We were talking on a topic about, because like Rob's saying about Star Wars, the last Star Wars movie is Rogue One, and so there's 4. So, Jamie, out the Star Wars movies you've seen, so 4, 5, 6, and Episode 1, which one's your favorite out of the 4 of them?
I think the third one.
Return of the Jedi?
Hold on. Yeah, I like that one. And number 1, the original one was really good too.
A New Hope.
The Pod 1 was my least favorite.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
well, you haven't seen Attack of the Clones yet.
Sorry?
So you haven't seen Attack of the Clones yet, so
I'm not far in. Yeah, I'm not far in. I've heard there's lots worse to come, and
have
as
you
you said,
the part
Rashad,
with the sand?
Yeah.
completely skip some parts. So
I will say this that you probably won't ever hear anybody else say, but when you watch it, really watch Jar Jar Binks.
people already told me about that.
People slag on him, but he is a great character. Very
Yeah, I
underrated.
love Jar Jar.
Oh,
I love
really?
Jar Jar too.
Rashad's not impressed.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but bad things.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, man.
if you really just watch him and see how he's actually pretty kick ass.
Yeah.
Now,
and
Patrick,
hilarious.
you fucking with. I can see the Kool-Aid smile, man. You fucking with us.
No, Dave.
I can
You're
see
trolling.
no.
You're trolling.
I can see the smile through the mustache, man. You ain't
I'm-
fooling nobody.
I am a Jar Jar fan.
No,
I'm a Jar Jar
why you
fan.
keep smirking? I can see it through the mustache, bro.
I'm sitting there because I read this magazine. I read this magazine article. They're talking about Jar Jar and how he got shafted. Like he's much better. So I said, okay. So I went in there and I watched Clones, and I'm sitting there and all I'm doing is just watching him. Nobody else. I've already seen the movie. Just really watched everything on his character. And they were right. He really was a very underrated and very brave character. They had him playing like shuck and jive. And they're sitting there criticizing that because he was not a shuck and jive character. He was brave. If you go back there, right when they have when the shield comes down, he's in the freaking front line. He's fighting in the front line. He's not a coward. They had him portrayed as a coward, as hiding, and he's not. If you go back and see him, he's right there fighting the Empire face to face. He's a really underrated character.
I
And
love
the
Jar
thing
Jar.
that really bad, the only thing that really hurt him was they gave him that stupid voice.
Yeah.
But no, I know. I swear I'm not trolling you. Jar Jar is a very interesting character. Very interesting character.
I don't mind Jar Jar Binks, I'll be honest.
I didn't either. The first time I saw it, I was with everybody else. Like, oh, he's goofy. Everybody's sitting there criticizing until I read the article, and I went back there and looked at it, and I was like, I was wrong. I'm dead wrong. He's a very interesting character.
Hey.
Well, he was so interesting that, I guess at the time people were, I don't know, because we hated him so much that George cut his screen time by 95% in episode 2.
Yeah.
He was a big part of episode 1. Episode 2, he just said, we'll just, and then
a little bit right there in the beginning.
The Revenge of the Sith was, I think you saw him one time just walking by, that was it.
Yeah, it's kind of
Pretty
crappy.
relegated.
Yeah.
And it's great to hear, Jamie, that your favorite one was the third one, the Return of the Jedi. Yeah, that was my favorite of the original trilogy as well.
Yeah.
That one makes me cry. I cry at that one.
Yeah.
I can understand.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a crybaby anyway, though, but I cried at that one. Yeah.
By the way, Rashad, he meant the OG house party. We don't do remakes.
Yeah. Cool.
Ryan poses an interesting question. He says, if you could de-age one actor for real to get another run of movies, who would it be?
That's a good question.
Wow, that's a very good question.
I think the problem is with a lot of the actors is either they're really old now, so they can't do the stuff they used to be able to do to maybe do those run of movies, or I don't know.
Well, I wish we could de-age and just kind of give him some of that Ra's al Ghul youth juice to make him young again, and that's Wesley Snipes. I would love to see another string of Blade movies. I feel like Blade 1 and 2 are untouchable, and then Blade Trinity was dog shit. And then we didn't realize how kick-ass of a character Blade was until last year with Deadpool Wolverine, how much we missed that character.
Yeah.
And the first thing I'm thinking of is, damn, I would love to see another Blade trilogy, but Wesley Snipes, he's in his 60s now. That there's no way that he can do that. But if I can de-age one actor, it would be Wesley Snipes.
That's a good pick, to be honest. I didn't think of that. Because I thought in the Deadpool Wolverine, I was like, oh yeah, this guy still kick ass. He could still.
Yeah.
Got it.
Have you seen the Blade movies, Mike?
A long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so I remember bits and pieces, but not loads about them.
Okay.
To be honest, I'd say Harrison Ford, mainly for another run of Indiana Jones films, or just a little. I don't know. I have a very, very, very strong nostalgic love for Indiana Jones because I watched a lot of them with my dad, and just back in the day. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like if he could genuinely de-age and just do a different run of Indiana Jones films, that would be maybe not top tier, but that would just be really, really good. And I would love that.
It'd be great. It'd be great, but again, it depends if, again, like the age he is now, though, you know.
Yeah.
Or they'd have like a double play him, but like it's his.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But no, but Rob, I'll be down for that though, because I didn't too much care for the Dial of Destiny, but that beginning part where he was de-aged, and I felt like I was watching old school Raiders of the Lost Ark again.
Yeah,
you know? Like it went back to the roots of what made Indiana Jones great. So yeah, man, if they could have pulled that off, hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That would be really nice. Just those movies are just so, man, so good. Except for the Crystal Skull, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we don't talk about Crystal Skull.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, anyway.
And we've got Rob in the chat. He's saying my pick for de-aging, Clint Eastwood.
Ooh.
He might be my favorite actor ever, but I'm kind of against de-aging. I can get that. Well, speaking of de-aging, I watched a movie today called Here, which was a de-aged Tom Hanks.
Oh, how was that? Oh, I gotta watch a review on that.
It was a really, like, the theme of the movie is like really beautiful as well, like life and death, and about like this one house where it showcases throughout time like all these different people that's lived there, their kind of lives, how they did there before it focused on his story. But the editing's like non-linear, so it's cutting like all the parts in one pieces, and then it's like transitioning all the time, and then it's skipping stories all the time, and you don't get a long time to spend a moment in like that moment. It transitions to the next scene. So I feel like the editing and the storytelling wasn't the best. But it kind of sounds like.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
And I was like, that sounds like, what's that one movie that Florence Pugh did with it sounds like that movie.
We Live in Time.
We Live in Time.
Was it kind of like that? Because that's the way you described it.
Like non-linear telling. Yeah. So like it would like show like current Tom Hanks, like right now, like present day, and then it'll go back to the dinosaur age, and then it'll go to him in the 50s or 60s, and then it'll go to someone in the 1800s. It kept skipping all the time like that.
Interesting.
Which is a shame. But the de-aged Tom Hanks looks pretty impressive, though.
Did he look like Forrest Gump Tom Hanks or Splash Tom Hanks?
bit like Splash, I would say. I would say, yeah. But Jason, how about you? Who would you like to see de-aged?
Yeah, Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. That was my pick. Just because of Dial of Destiny, the first part was like kind of cool, and then the rest of the movie was horrible. And I kept thinking, just do the de-aging and do the whole movie that way, and let's do that storyline. Forget this whole style, this whatever with the fever, Walter Bridge, whatever. Yeah. Forget that. Let's do this. Let's go back to the Nazis. Like, that was a great period for Indiana Jones fighting Nazis. Like,
yeah,
love that. Just keep doing that. De-aging. The problem with de-aging is like it's so good. The quality is so good now. It does look so believable. The only problem is the people, they still act old. Like if you watch Rob De Niro in Irishman,
I was just thinking that.
They de-age him, but he walks around like an old man. So you're like,
oh my god, that movie is horrible.
So you have to edit it in such a way that you don't see that. I don't know.
Yeah,
man, that movie had me weak, man. I was laughing so hard. At all the wrong moments, I was just laughing my ass off.
Yeah, JC read my mind, bro. I was just thinking the Irishman when De Niro beat that one guy down, and he was like stomping him, and I'm like, dude, it looks like an 80-year-old man stomping this dude out, man. It's not believable at all.
Oh man, that was terrible. Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie. I guess I'm kind of thankful I haven't.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
Yeah, it was. If you have any love for Scorsese, don't watch it, man. Like that. That's one of those where you watch your heroes age. And you're like, it's like watching Michael Jordan on the Wizards, man. Like, my hero's getting old. That's what it's like watching the Irishman.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not good. But Jamie, who would you like to see de-aged?
I can't think of anybody, and I'm with Jace. Like, it's really confusing to me to see somebody that I know is old and looking at a younger version of them, like my brain just can't click it. So I don't really know. And I know this is like a really like vain, I guess, perspective, but I like men when they get old. Like I think a lot of the like main actors that I like, the older that they get, I think like the more attractive that they get and the more that I want to watch. I know that's got no reflection of their performances, but I like them getting old. I don't want to see a young, Andrew Lincoln or I don't know. I just like older. But that's got nothing to do with their performances. But I'm just saying, when they do de-age them, it confuses my brain, and I'm like, that's an old person though. Yeah. Anyway,
you sound like my daughter. My daughter she's 19 and she has a crush on old Terry Silver.
I mean, he's not bad, and he is a villain, which I'm down to.
Yeah, but he's like twice my age, and I'm like, wait a minute, how you? And she's like, I don't know, I like it. So I said, well, let's watch Karate Kid 3. So I showed her Karate Kid 3 how he looked when he was younger, and she wasn't feeling him when he was younger.
No, that's what I'm saying to you.
She likes
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And same thing. Like I think I don't want to say looks better, but he just aged well. Like, and to see them go back to that, I want to say Cobra Kai 3, but Karate Kid 3. I don't know. It just doesn't fit right. And like we had that exact same when he's sitting in the hot tub, with the cigar. We had that exact same scene pretty much of him now, and it fit. Like it felt like right. So I'm just like, if they not that they would have de-aged in that moment there, but it still works as him as an old person. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think there's a real need to de-age people when, as we talked about before earlier with Superman with Rob, like give someone else the opportunity to be that. Like why? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But I guess if you like the performances, like with the Indiana Jones thing, that's different because you want to go back for the memories and the nostalgia of it all. Yeah, but de-aging in general, it's just like, why? Get somebody else.
That shit kind of scares me. My son-in-law could be 20 years older than me, man. That's scary to think about.
Right.
What's up, Dad? Dad, motherfucker, you older than me.
Dad.
Shit.
I think with the de-aging, I think it all depends on if the actor or actress can still, perform, right? Like as Jamie said about Terry Silver, that like he's still badass. He can still do the karate. He can still do all those moves. So there's no need to de-age him, right? But if it was like a Harrison Ford and Jones, that guy's not running around nowadays. He's not walking around fast pace or like, up to these antics like Indiana Jones. Yeah. So you kind of have to have like a double and like put his face over or whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
Well, what's the worst de-aging y'all ever seen?
This one was bad. The new Candyman, the Tony Todd.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
That was pretty bad.
Patrick Stewart in Wolverine Origins was so bad.
That's right. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Yeah.
I forgot about
I totally forgot about that too.
My God.
See what I mean? But your brain, it doesn't click. It's like, that's not right. It doesn't fit,
There was a movie that Sly did a few years back where he played a superhero. And they de-aged him. Yeah, that one. Remember they de-aged him in that movie?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Yeah, there's a scene where he fights. No, he doesn't fight, but he's a younger version of himself. And he kind of looked like Sly from Nighthawks. Have you ever seen Nighthawks?
Yeah.
He looked like that version of Sly. It was because Sly has a unique face. Yeah. So the de-aging did not work well with him if you have like a different kind of face like that.
No. I feel like you have to have like kind of like a smooth face to like work really well. I feel I could be wrong, but from what like experiences we've been talking about as well.
That would make sense though, right? Because to edit it properly and to get the line, it'd be easier to smooth things out as opposed to using like if somebody has too much of like a square jawline and a bunch of wrinkles, it'd be kind of hard to. I don't know. I feel like you're right though. Like if you have like a smoother, rounder face or something, it would be much easier to just kind of motion capture that than opposed to somebody like the Crimson Chin and try and get that to be in line properly.
Yeah. Damn, I think Jason wins that one, bro. That Patrick Stewart one was pretty
Bro,
bad.
oh my God. Thank you. Because what I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
I thought the Flash was terrible all around when they brought in the different, like Nicolas Cage as Superman. It was like, oh, that was so bad.
That was awful.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
That was really bad. Well,
Yeah, Nicolas Cage one was horrendous.
I mean, I liked seeing the cameo. I was like, oh wow, but
Yeah,
ooh,
that was
wow,
cool.
that looks
Right.
that looks pretty rough. Like,
Yeah. Especially when they freeze it and they make a still out of it, and you're like, that looks even worse.
like,
Yeah.
oh God. Oh.
Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I have an answer for this one.
Yeah.
I'd have to. I think I'd have to like kind of think about it, and I think it depends if you de-age. Like for example, it's not a great movie, but like Gemini Man, where they had Will Smith go against his younger self.
Yeah, that was good.
Like that could be like a cool de-aging for maybe any actor, I guess. I know it's kind of a very huge scope I've kind of given an answer for there.
No, but I mean, I feel you.
I don't know, because it's not even so much de-aging, but like if he was well enough and fit enough to do it, hey, I would have Michael J. Fox back for another Back to the Future trilogy if I could. But you wouldn't have to de-age him, just make him his age now, and he can still go on adventures, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a great question, though. Great question. And I think with that, we're going to wrap it up here. So I do want to say thank you to Jamie Lee from In the Front Row for joining, Jason the Old Millennial, Rashad G Reviews, Patrick from 8 Questions with Have Cheetah Will View, and Big Rob Theory. Very quickly before we wrap up, as always, Jamie, if you want to go first and just kind of plug your channel and what you got coming up.
Yeah, my channel's In the Front Row. I do movie reactions and TV reactions and movie reviews and TV reviews. Sometimes I get to interview people from those movies and TV shows. A lot coming up that's going to be a little bit different on my channel because I'm heading to America very soon, next month. So I'm going to do, a lot of shorts that are like theme park related, I guess, or differences between like here and Aussie. But I do want to try and keep it more movie focused if I can. I would have liked to have seen like a lot of the sets over there, but I'm going to LA, Disney, Anaheim, and then Vegas. So I'm not really going to Georgia, Atlanta, all them places where my favorite films were made. So that's a shame. But and then I'll get back to live streaming once a month, movies that I'm going to be watching or upcoming movies that I want to be watching or movies that I have watched in that month. So that's what I'm up to over on there.
Nice, Jamie. Yeah, I look forward to seeing your content from America. And if you didn't catch it, Jamie did do a 25 live stream announcement of what's big changes, what's been going on. So definitely implore people to check that out as well and get a bit more behind the scenes of what Jamie's up to as well. Links down below. Jason, what have you got coming up?
So I watched the Oscar nominations just before kind of got on here, and I did kind of a reaction video, but I made it. I just shot it on my phone, and I was trying to upload it, but it says I don't have enough storage on my phone or something. So I'm just trying to edit it into little bits and trying to upload it. I think that's what I'm going to work on tonight. Is which I kind of hate. I wanted to just put the whole thing out, but I'm going to have to put it out in bits and pieces, I guess. I'm thinking about seeing Flight Risk tomorrow and doing a movie review of that is what I'd like to do.
Nice.
Now that the weather's much better, I can get out. And I've been starting this. Lately, I've been trying to watch movies from specific directors and do a ranking. I did one on George Lucas recently, and I just got finished with Wes Anderson and Tarantino. So I might work on doing like a ranking video on those two. I'm thinking.
Nice. Cool.
Nice. I look forward to the reaction video of the Oscars, Jason, and the director series as well has been pretty cool. I watched the George Lucas one you did, so be intrigued to see Tarantino.
I hope you watch it because I ranted a lot on the prequels.
Yeah.
Oh,
the whole time just bad mouthing the prequels.
Oh Jesus!
Did Perez come in the comment section?
Perez is gonna get you.
Oh
yeah.
Rob's got a lot to report back to Perez later on.
You might not
Jason
watch-
ranting about the prequels, Jamie Lee watching the car Star Wars movie.
She called it a fucking car.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry. You were never living that down, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
But you all knew what I was talking about, didn't you?
Yeah, the car race in Star Wars. Hey, at least not as bad as horses on a ship. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
And Rob, how about you, my friend? What have you got coming up?
So I actually have a few videos recorded already that I need to just edit. I'm finally getting to that point. I know, slowly but surely, with all the way you guys do it, having several stuff recorded already. And the next one that I'm doing is A Mother's Instinct from the Neon box set.
Oh,
it's a pretty good movie. Like Jessica Chastain and Anne Hathaway did such a great, like, oh my god, man, like that movie is really good. I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't think it was gonna be that good, and it was pretty good. So gonna be doing that. And my girlfriend and I have been watching this thing called Mystery Science Theater, which I've watched before, but I love that show. And then we've just been rewatching like all the stuff, and it's just kind of giving me an idea too to go back and watch those movies to myself and review them, because wow, those movies are wow. They're so bad. Oh my god, they're so bad. And also that, and then with the new DC show Creature Commandos ending a few weeks ago, I'm gonna do that and get back to also the new 52 series of movies that I know some of you know that I was doing already. So there are a bunch of different stuff, and playing through God of War Ragnarok and doing gameplay videos on that. And I'm excited to do that because I haven't done a gameplay video in forever. So a bunch of stuff. So that'll be fun.
Oh, nice, brother. Yeah, it sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on. I've been enjoying seeing like your catch-up reviews, like you did Cuckoo recently as well.
Yeah,
so I enjoyed your
really good film.
Yeah, and so definitely check out Rob. He's got a lot of stuff coming on the way as well, and catch-up reviews if you guys maybe haven't seen those movies so far as well. Patrick, what about you? What have you got coming up?
Well, nothing for the the ISC show on Horror with Hoss's channel. We're bringing in a guest star. We're bringing in twins from Double Feature Podcast. They're going to be joining us as we cover The Abandoned from 2015, and then I will return to my channel after taking a month off on February 3rd. I'll be interviewing Melanie Gretchen and Pat Bradley on Monday the 3rd, February 3rd.
Nice. And I look forward to seeing you return to live streams as well, Patrick. That would be great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And finally, Rashad, what have you got coming up, my friend?
Well, yeah, I'm still working on editing the never-ending reaction to No Holds Barred, which seemed like it's taking forever, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Cause I think our reaction came out pretty good. I see you doing Hulk Hogan down there, brother.
I actually tried to do Debo.
Oh man, that guy, yeah, Tiny Lister Jr., man, rest in peace, man, Zeus. Yeah. So I got that coming up, and tomorrow I'm checking out Flight Risk. And I didn't realize that was directed by Mel Gibson, so I'm excited now because Mel Gibson. Say what you want about the guy, man, but he's talented, and I haven't seen a bad movie that he directed, so he always comes through. So I have faith in that one now. So I'm checking out Flight Risk tomorrow, and then Saturday I'm checking out Dogman. It's an animated DreamWorks movie. It's an early screener, so I'm taking my son to see that one, and that's it so far. Yeah.
Oh, nice, bro. Yeah, I look forward to seeing the reaction video and Flight Risk. I think I'm seeing it tomorrow. Jason's seeing it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing it tomorrow. So there's going to be a lot of Flight reviews tomorrow. So yeah, definitely go check out all my guests. I'll say links down below in the description box. And I just want to thank you guys for watching live or after the fact. Until next time, we will see you later.
All right.
Take it easy, guys.